You're watching MITV, McAllen Instructional Television.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Jay Gonzalez. I'm Superintendent of Schools for McAllen ISD. On behalf of the district and our Board of Trustees, welcome to DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. We wish all those competing and performing the best of luck, and we hope all those in attendance enjoy the competition.
Welcome to the Sideline Football Show for football night in McAllen. I'm Jake Berry alongside Mark May. Welcome back, Mark.
Yeah, it's good. I can't believe it's already a whole new season.
And we are here. You're probably looking at the location. We've changed it up this season. We are now at Dairy Queen on North 23rd.
Yeah, Dairy Queen, our field naming rights sponsor at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. So it's now DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're so glad to be in this partnership with Dairy Queen and other sponsors too that are helping us to support the kids.
Yeah, and it's a great name for the field too, because they're bringing back to the fans. They're showing how much Dairy Queen cares about the fan experience at our games, and it should be a tremendous year. Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun. All three McAllen teams are going to be competing for the playoffs, and it's going to be a new district look this year too. We've got 8 teams in the district now. We had 7 last year. Of course, every 2 years UIL reconfigures. So the 2 PSJA schools are new this year, PSJA Bears and the PSJA North Raiders, and La Jolla Palmview shifted down into Class 5A, so they're no longer part of the district, but La Jolla Juarez Lincoln, La Jolla High, Mission High, along with the McAllen High, McAllen Rowe, McAllen Memorial, and then the 2 PSJA schools are all part of this new District 36A.
Yeah, and it should be very interesting because PSJA North didn't have the season that they wanted last year. They were very good the year before that, almost making the playoffs, losing out of the playoffs in the last game of the year. Last year wasn't the season that they wanted, but PSJA had some revival there with Lupe Rodriguez coming over from Mission Vets. They've got a great quarterback in Trey Guajardo, so this district, hands down, is a lot better than I think than it was last year.
Yeah, it's probably kicked up a notch in terms of competitiveness. PSJA North, just 2-8 last year, but they bring 13 starters back, and Coach Marcus Kaufman is their head coach, a former offensive coordinator at McAllen Memorial, so he knows how to coach winning players, and the Raiders will be a lot more competitive this year with all that experience coming back. And then looking at the PSJA Bears, they were a really strong team last year, one of the strongest in the Valley. They started off 8-0. And then they went on a 3-game slide at the worst time of the year, the last 2 games, and then into the playoffs. So they're kind of, it's a little bit of a sting, and they're going to want to kind of prove themselves coming back this year. Got a really good quarterback in Trey Guajardo, probably one of the top Valley quarterbacks. Had 29 touchdown passes last year and almost 3,000 yards. So yeah, the Bears will be an exciting team. The Raiders will be competitive, and La Jolla Juarez Lincoln just barely missing out on the playoffs last year. They were 6-4, but they went 3-3 in district, and then the tiebreaker didn't go in their favor, and so they stayed home. But that's another team that's going to contend for the playoffs.
Yeah, and La Jolla kind of turned that corner. You have to remember La Jolla was kind of decimated by the 2 schools coming in and taking some of their population away. They turned the corner last year, and it looks like they've moved past that rebuilding process, and they're ready to try to make the playoffs this season in a really tough district.
Yeah, and McAllen Memorial, of course, is the class of the district. They've won the last 4 district titles in a row. In fact, the last 5 years, since 2013, a McAllen school has won the district. Mackay winning it in 13, Memorial the last 4 years. Memorial lost a lot of people, but they have a lot of good players coming back, led by Campbell Spates, who was the district MVP last year as a sophomore. Hard to believe he's still only a junior, but this will be his 3rd year on the varsity, and he'll be leading that Mustang attack.
Yeah, and they've got one of the most seasoned quarterbacks in the district, besides Trey Guajardo and Sean Scoogin. So it'll be interesting to see what Memorial does this year if they air it out. I think we say that all the time, but they stick true to form, and they like to rush the ball.
They grind it out. Yeah.
So we should we have fast games when we watch them, but the district should be interesting this year. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and then there's the Mackay Bulldogs. Mackay's got their season opener tomorrow night against Brownsville Lopez, and they took some hits on the offense. I mean, Gunnar Henderson was their big weapon last year. He graduated. Aaron Nixon was expected to come back at quarterback, but he's opted to stick to baseball, where he's going to be a future Texas Longhorn. So they had to find a new quarterback for this year, and it'll be Brian Garza. On defense, they're rock solid, though. They've got almost all their starters back on defense, everybody with experience on the defense. So they'll be a very good defensive team. Offense will need a little bit of time to build up steam. And then we have McAllen Rowe, of course, that has their quarterback Jonas Ortiz coming back. He started mid-season last year, came in as a sophomore after an injury, and he's picked up good experience, so he'll be just a junior this year after getting an honorable mention All-District last year. He'll have one of the offensive linemen is back, a couple of receivers are back, and we talked in depth to Coach Robert Flores, the third-year coach for Nikki Rowe. We have an interview.
Well, we finished up last year, we lost in the first round against Laredo Alexander. We brought a core of those kids back. We have some juniors along with some seniors that played in those teams. So with a good offseason that we've had, we're hoping that we can put things together and make another run at, first and foremost, the goal is to win a district championship, and then secondly is to advance in the playoffs.
Your season opener, Weslaco Panthers, what kind of challenges do they present?
Well, they're a tough team. We got to see them play scrimmage against Harlingen, and we saw them against Brownsville Veteran. They're an upcoming team. I know Coach Salinas out there is ready. They missed the playoffs last year, but their defense is extremely strong. They have a lot of returners, and I think their offensive quarterback, along with their receivers, they're a great team. So, we're expecting a tough challenge, and that's what we wanted to set ourselves up with, tough teams to prepare us as we go into district play.
I'm blessed to be a parent in McAllen ISD. My wife and I are proud and honored to know that our children, a pre-K student, kindergartner, and first grader, attend McAllen ISD, a district who earned the Texas Education Agency's A rating, the Post-Secondary Readiness Distinction, and the Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas Perfect Score. A district where over 23,000 students are loved, nurtured, and educated not only academically, but socially and emotionally. If McAllen ISD is your district of choice, thank you. And if it's not, consider joining our family. My name is Dr. Jay Gonzalez. I've been a part of the McAllen ISD family for the last 20 years. I'm currently blessed with the opportunity to serve our outstanding school district as superintendent of schools.
And welcome back to the Sideline Show. We're here at Dairy Queen on North 23rd. I'm Jake Berry alongside Mark May. Mark, interesting game. You've got two teams that went in total different directions last year. Rowe making the playoffs, Weslaco sliding, only winning 2 games last year. What do you think about tonight's game?
It's a good test for both teams, I think. Weslaco doesn't stay down for very long. They've had really good tradition over the last 15 years or so. And so that's a team that I think has the confidence to come back. Michael Salinas, their head coach, was a very successful quarterback for the Edinburgh Bobcats back in his high school days. So there's somebody who knows how to get teams on track, onto the winning records. And then looking at Nikki Rowe, we heard Coach Flores talking about how he's got some weapons back on offense, he's got some weapons back on defense. He'll also have some players going 2 ways this year, which is a little bit unusual for a 6A team. But Nikki Rowe, they like to get their best athletes out there as much as possible. And something else that's interesting is this will be his 3rd year, Coach Flores' 3rd year. They've made the playoffs each of the last 2 years. They haven't made 3 years in a row since back in 2004. So it's been a little bit of a while since they've had 3 years in the playoffs, but he does have the weapons to get them in.
Yeah, and for Weslaco, last year they had the most points scored in a season game with 72 points, albeit against Brownsville Rivetta. And then for the other 8 remaining games, they only scored 140 total points.
So averaging, I think, less than 18 points a game the rest of the way, so it's kind of a aberration there, but certainly it shows the explosive power, the potential that this team has.
Yeah, and they'll have Jacob Cavazos back at quarterback, so that bodes well for the Panthers. The only problem is they didn't put up too much offense last year. They're moving to the spread from the slot T, the nasty slot, as some people called it, before that with Tony V. So it's going to be interesting to see if they've been able to pick up that offense that Coach Michael Salinas was able to cultivate at Vela.
Well, you know, we talked to a couple of players earlier this week. We went out to the Rowe practice. We talked to Ortiz at quarterback, got his thoughts, and also Josue Alonso, who's going to be one of those two-way players we talked about. He'll start at middle linebacker, but on this day, we actually got some footage of him working out at receiver. So he'll be one of those guys doing double duty this year, and we have those interviews for you right now.
Yes, sir. I feel more confident coming into this year. You know, I got a good receiver core coming out here. They know what they're doing. They're helping me out, and I'm helping them out too, and helping the players with everything. You know, a couple new things, but for the most part, we're keeping everything the same. Hit them with anything we have, a little balanced formation, but for the most part, keeping everything the same, and we do what we can to win games with any plays. You know, really, it's just the mental game. It's the physical game. The physical game it'll come with the mental game. If you can be the best quarterback you can be, but if you're not there mentally, you can fall and be a bad part of your team.
And finally, you guys have the season opener against Weslaco. What kind of challenges does their defense present for you guys?
You know, they're a good defense, and we know that, but that doesn't really faze us. We're doing what we want. We're doing what we can right now to doing what we can with what we know that's going to hurt them and help us.
Looking at Weslaco this week, good offense that they have. What are some of the challenges that they present for you guys?
They have speed as well, but I think our defense has speed as well too. I think it just comes down to who wants it more.
Welcome back to the Sideline Show. Jake Berry, Mark May. Mark, it's going to be an interesting game tonight. Weslaco, Rowe. You know, what are your final thoughts?
Well, you know, for Nikki Rowe, they have one less non-conference game this year because of the extra district opponent. So they only have 3 non-conference games versus 4 as in the recent years. So they've got to get really everything in gear very quickly. So you know, that means higher stakes a little bit, if you will, going up against this Weslaco team. And Weslaco, they're in a tough district themselves. They're kind of facing the same kind of situation. So I think you're going to see both teams getting after it tonight, wanting to set the tone for the season. And you know, if you get off to a win right off the blocks, it really just does wonders for a team's confidence and their morale. And I know both coaches will be going after a win tonight here at DQ Fan Field.
And it'll be interesting tonight to see how Rowe does with the running game, replacing Raul Garcia. And then their line, they only have 1 returning lineman, so it'll be interesting to see how the line stacks up against Weslaco. You know, it's an early season game, but you know, you got to like Rowe's chances in this game.
Yeah, and Rowe they don't have any starting returners at running back, but they do have one young man, his name is it Alonso, who last year played in about 6 games.
And Lalo Bosques.
Yeah, they did pick up some experience last year. They have some guys who played quite a bit at running back, just weren't starters, that will be there in the backfield this year, the offensive backfield. So they do have some experience at the running game. 2 wide receivers are back for Ortiz, so I think the passing game is going to be pretty effective for them, and that'll be a challenge for the Panthers to stop that Rowe passing game.
Well, there you have it. We'll talk to you after the game for the post-game show. For Mark May, I'm Jake Berry. Thanks for watching.
Ever see a vehicle advertised at a price you want and you drive over to get it and it's gone? Don't fall for those gimmicks. Bogus will give you a real deal, and 2 locations right here in the Valley. Come see for yourself. It's better at Bogus.
Give us a chance to get to know you better. Honesty, integrity, and quality of service. Rio Bank, your kind of bank, your kind of banker.
As a child, you would wait and watch from far away, but you always knew that you'd be the one to work while they all play. We
All right, here we are for a splendid new season of football here on Football Night in McAllen. I'm Mark May along with Mario Reyna coming to you from the newly christened DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. In fact, just this morning, Mario, they had the press conference to welcome the Dairy Queen family as part of the McAllen ISD family. It's going to be a wonderful partnership for the next 6 years, and it'll be DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. And thanks to people like Dairy Queen and all our sponsors, it helps pay for that scoreboard and create an alternative revenue stream in the future after the scoreboard is paid for the school district. And we get the scoreboard, which showcases all the student talent at no cost to our taxpayers. So it's a win-win deal.
It is, and it was such a beautiful ceremony. The celebration was great. Mr. Lozano from Dairy Queen, he spoke very emotional, saying that it's all about giving back to the school district, to the community, and back to the kids. And that's what it's all about. It was real touching.
All right, and now we've got a brand new season here of football where everybody's excited. It's a 2018 season. Everybody's undefeated at this point,
That's
so
right.
optimism is very high. And we've got this game, a season opener between the Nikki Rowe Warriors and the Weslaco Panthers. What are your keys for this one?
Well, before I get to the keys, Mark, I do want to say it's exciting because that first game, it just brings back a lot of memories. And what are the memories that are going to be created on this football field? And the other thing that we have to remember, Mark, that it's always a pleasure to work with you and all the crew, because we do need to say that we are the best in the state, isn't it?
That's
so
true.
We might
yes,
as well.
we got the state award from
right.
the Texas School Public Relations Association, the state award for the best live sports event
But that's
last year
the
in the whole
past.
state
We
of
have
Texas.
to bring it.
You have to keep
every
bringing
game.
it. Got to keep bringing it.
Yeah, but let's go to the keys to the game, Mark. Anytime first game of the year, there'll be a lot of people nervous. The kids will be nervous, but we feel that one of the keys there, the returning lettermen, they provide the leadership. And we do know that there's a slight edge in that with the Weslaco Panthers. They had a couple of more kids returning. I do believe they have 14 coming back, and the Rowe Warriors have 8. So that's a big key. How do those starters from last year, how do they lead the team? And then you have to look at the new starters. How do they quickly produce and get into the scheme of things? And of course, like almost any game, even on week 10, week 1, those turnovers might happen a little bit more often because the players are getting used to each other.
Yeah, certainly, and a great set of keys there. And you saw that gentleman with the Dak Prescott jersey a moment ago. That was our something we do at every home game for any of the McAllen ISD teams, announcing and recognizing a veteran of the week, and that was Mr. Rene Cantu, who is the father of Rene Cantu Jr., who is a Nikki Rowe student. So we appreciate all the effort Mr. Cantu put in. 20 years in the U.S. Army, retired as a staff sergeant.
Very awesome, very awesome.
So that was great, and I think they're just about ready for the national anthem. You see the Nikki Rowe Warriors there went 7-4 last year, went into the playoffs, lost in the first round, so they'd like to go get back to the show and get a little bit further this time around. We've got the ROTC out there and are about ready for our national anthem to be sung by a member of the Nikki Rowe Choir.
And I always look forward to who's singing the national anthem. It doesn't matter what McAllen ISD school it is.
See by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave
who is a member of the Nikki Rowe Choir, also part of the show choir they have there at Nikki Rowe, the Razzmatazz, which is a wonderful group to see. If you've never seen them perform, you're missing a treat there. Razzmatazz, something to see. And something else that's great to see is the Nikki Rowe Warriors. As we said, winning season last year. They've been in the playoffs 2 straight years, trying for the hat trick this season. They haven't made the playoffs 3 straight years since they went 4 in a row from 2001 through the 2004 seasons. But Coach Robert Flores has this team poised for that. And I think, anytime you want to make a run for the playoffs, it helps to have a quarterback with some experience, doesn't it, Mario?
Absolutely. He led, he was the backup quarterback last year as a sophomore, and then came in after quarterback Jesse Sanchez got hurt, and he did a good job. He did lead the Warriors to 6 consecutive victories, and as a sophomore, he did that. So the expectations are very high on Jonas, and he is a good athlete. Also, not only the quarterback, but also plays baseball, and he's also on the track team.
Yeah, Jonas Ortiz, also one of the captains tonight, along with man in the offensive backfield, Lalo Bosquez, who will be carrying the football here tonight. And the other captains were on defense, Josue Alonso as a linebacker, and also Noe Ramirez, who's a defensive back. And here come the Nikki Rowe Warriors. Got the silver helmets and the green jerseys, green pants, with the gray numerals and yellow trim. By the way, coming to you live tonight, since it's a Thursday night, we're allowed to bring you this game live as the Panthers come riding out onto the field in their traveling white jerseys and white pants with the white helmets and the purple mascot. Coming to you live on McAllen ISD's Facebook page and also on the McAllen ISD webpage at McAllenISD.org.
And Mark, Weslaco has a lot of questions coming in here. They're not used to losing. Last year, they had a very difficult year under first-year coach at Weslaco, Mike Salinas. But we know Coach Salinas came from Edinburgh Vela, and he was in the playoffs for many years over there, going 2nd round, 3rd round on a yearly basis. So a lot of questions. He's got a lot of kids that need to produce Weslaco Panthers football. They're not used to losing many games.
Weslaco's had an excellent tradition in recent years, but last year was an uncharacteristic 2-8. They came in, and they want to improve upon that. They've got Coach Michael Salinas, who was a quarterback for the Edinburgh Bobcats back in the 1990s. And
that's a good point, Mark, because it's rare that in any game Coach Salinas did play football with the Bobcats, and Coach Flores on the Warrior side, he did the same thing. So you're looking at 2 coaches that have their passion there, their heart there, and that's a great thing to do. But Salinas, had a great offer at Weslaco, so he decided to go coach in Weslaco and left the Edinburgh Vela squad.
So it'll be Nikki Rowe that will receive, and Weslaco will kick off here to start the game. Season opener for 2018.
And Mark, right away, Coach Salinas for the Panthers, he won the toss, and he decided to kick off. He wants to play his defense first on defense, so we'll see how that plays out today.
Yeah, you see, that's become kind of a trend. I've seen that in the college game too, where teams elect to defer more often nowadays when they win that toss. They prefer to get the ball to start the second half, and this kick sails out of bounds. And so it'll be Nikki Rowe football to start off here, as we just started here in the first quarter here between these 2 clubs.
Right away, Mark, the first penalty of the year.
Oh, they're going to have him re-kick it.
Do you know any of the new rules, Mark, for this year? Oh, that looks pretty nice, a DQ. Any of the new rules, I do understand that after a touchdown, right away the clock will be started, and they have 40 seconds to kick their field goal, so that's something to look at. Right.
You can see our new scorebook there on the lower right part of your frame. And as we said earlier, proud to have Dairy Queen as a field naming rights sponsor. Also Bogus Ford there, the sponsor for this first quarter.
Noe Ramirez back to receive the kick.
Yeah, they're going to move it back 5 yards to the 35-yard line.
Who's the other?
So back there for Nikki Rowe, yeah, we see, looks like Noe Ramirez. And I think that might be 28, Angel Rodriguez back there.
And for the Panthers kicking
there's
off
Noe Ramirez right there.
George
one of the
Martinez
captains.
is kicking off.
And this one is a onside kick.
Oh,
and guess
wow.
what? Weslaco comes up with it, recovered by Roy Trevino. Wow, that's a bit of a gutsy call there as Weslaco, moving back 5 yards, elects to kind of kick a line drive right into the Nikki Rowe front line there. And they recover the loose football. That was Roy Trevino who fell on it.
That's the unpredictability of football, Mark. The Warriors could have taken the ball at the 25. And I don't know, was that intentional, Mark?
It certainly looked like it. Although a little bit lucky that it hit a Rowe player. I mean, it could have easily gone right past him and out of bounds once again. So that little gamble pays off for the Panthers, and they have the ball 1st and 10 at midfield. Just underway here. So it'll be the Rowe defense that actually starts this game. And here's a shotgun snap to their quarterback and a handoff to the running back, number 15, Peyton Knobb. He's a junior running back who has some good yardage right up the middle, gain of about 6 to the Rowe 44.
And like any good team, they like to establish the running game first, Mark. If you can establish the running game, it opens up the doors for the passing game.
Jacob Cavazos Jr. is the quarterback in the shotgun again. Going to fake the handoff and keep it this time. And looks like he's close to a first down, right about the 40-yard line.
Nothing fancy on that plays. And you know who's on the tackle is Josiah Alonso, and get used to that name on defense. Last year as a sophomore, had a great year. Captain. And that is a first down for the Panthers.
Yeah, and Alonso's one of those two-way players as well. When we were at Nikki Rowe practice earlier this week, Alonso was actually working out at the receiver spot at the time. Here's another handoff, Knobb up the middle, and has big room this time up across the 35 to about the 33-yard line, a gain of 7, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Knobb last year, they used him as a running back towards the end of the year. He had 85 yards in 3 games.
They put 4 receivers on the left side. Quarterback wants to keep this one. This time Rowe is ready for it. A gain of only about 1 yard. And he'll bring up 3rd down and 2.
Nothing fancy so far. The Panthers are just not willing to risk anything. Trying to establish the line of scrimmage. Quarterback keeper, the safest call in the offensive playbook.
I think Jesse Garza got in there on that tackle, the senior defensive tackle, along with a couple of teammates. And here on 3rd and short, it's Knobb who gets the call and just crosses the 30 to about the 29. Picks up 3 on 3rd and 2, and that'll move the chains.
And that's a mark of a good running back, Mark. After you get hit, he got hit in the backfield. And if he would have been tackled, they would not have had a first down, but Knobb did a good job of gaining some yards after contact.
Nikki Rowe cheerleaders on the sideline. 1st and 10. This is going to be a quarterback keeper. Has big room, cross at the 20, all the way down to near the 10-yard line. And nearly broke that one for a touchdown. Rowe had to make a touchdown-saving tackle there near the 10. This might be a 1st and goal now.
What a nice job on the left side of the Panther offensive line. As you can see, nobody touched the quarterback until he had already a first down.
Yeah, Alonso and Ruiz in there on that last tackle, and this one, Knobb there, picks up only about a yard.
And Jacob Cavazos is showing that he's a good athlete. That move he put on the last play was pretty nice.
And here they go very quickly, lining up again. So 2nd down, gonna throw their first pass. This is caught at the 9, breaks a tackle, and is in for the touchdown for Weslaco. That's Devin Dena, the senior receiver. And the first time the Panthers go to the air, they hit pay dirt, a 7-yard touchdown pass from the quarterback Cavazos to Dena.
And here's a new rule, Mark. As you can see, they're not wasting any time because they have 40 seconds already down to 25. But Mark, on that last play, if we get the replay, I want you to take a look at what Jayden Cavazos, number 3, did for the Panthers. He was one of the wide receivers where the ball was thrown, and he's the one that threw the block.
And the extra point is up and good. Extra point good by George Martinez. And the Panthers lead it 7-0 over Nikki Rowe with 8:58 to play here in the first quarter. So we'll take a quick break. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
Here at Bogus Ford, it's all about family. And this has been a family-owned business since 1933. Yeah, it's a long time, right? So treating you like family is very important to this family. We think you'll agree. It's better at Bogus. Welcome.
At McAllen at beautiful DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. I'm Mark May along with Mario Reyna. This is our 11th season of Football Night in McAllen. And our early score, Weslaco leading by a score of 7-0 over the Nikki Rowe Warriors in this non-district game, season opener for both teams.
That was one of our keys to the game, Mark. Turnovers. And you know what I've said in the past, that turnovers are turnovers, but I don't really consider them turnovers if you don't get nothing out of it. So the Panthers did a good job of getting 7 points out of it.
Yeah, it took them 8 plays to go 50 yards after recovering the onside kick. And a 7-yard touchdown pass from Cavazos to Dena. And they are in front. And here's a little pooch kick here that's going to go out of bounds. Or does it stay in? It stays in. Dangerous play there for Nikki Rowe. And they recover the ball at their own 23-yard line, so it'll be no return.
They almost had a second turnover, Mark. George Pena, recovery.
So here we go for Nikki Rowe, first possession. Jonas Ortiz is now a junior in at quarterback. Started for most of last season. Going to go deep on first down. Man is wide open, but overthrown. Looked like it was intended for the sophomore, David Savage.
And unfortunately, the ball was overthrown. Some kind of great move on the outside by Savage. He was wide open. Wide open. Something that could have played a factor here, Mark, is the wind conditions. It is kind of windy.
Yeah, it's kind of a crosswind as well. So 2nd and 10, Ortiz in the gun. He's going to fake the handoff and keep this. And manages to get back to about the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down and 10.
One of the better linebackers in the district, Marco Noriega, in on the tackle, number 13. He is definitely a defensive player to watch.
Or the Tiaras, the dance team for Nikki Rowe. You can see the band there in the top of your screen. 3rd down and 10 here for Nikki Rowe. So Ortiz, good protection. This is caught. It's going to be short of the first down. A good catch there by Ruben Saenz III. He's a senior, one of the returning starters on this team, one of 3 returning offensive starters, but Nikki Rowe going to be forced to punt here on their first possession.
Good job by the Rowe offensive line, giving Ortiz enough time to throw. Good tackle by Raul Camarena.
Oh, high snap, but he has it. A good recovery by Angel Rodriguez, the punter. So take a little bit of a Panther bounce, so Rowe will kill it at the Panther 44-yard line. So the second straight possession in which Weslaco will start in good field position. And their first possession, they recovered an onside kick right at midfield and went in to score a touchdown. They lead 7-0 now. And now they have it at the 44. And we've got a whistle. We had Devin Dena in motion there.
Number 61 on the offense. seconds. 5-yard penalty.
Replay first down. We'll take a look at the replay on this. Yeah, there we see a little bit of a snap there. A little bit of a move before the snap. And so 1st and 15 now. Quarterback Cavazos wants to keep it, sheds one tackler and fights his way all the way up to about the 49 before he's brought down by a couple of Nikki Rowe players, including 99 Eric Morales.
So far here early in the game, the offensive line for the Weslaco Panthers are dominating. They're pushing back the defensive linemen. That was a quick 10-yard gain.
Yeah, they got 53 yards already as we see the defensive line, Wise, Barrera, Garza, and Carr on the defensive line there, as the defense does a pretty good job here on this play, knocking them down right at midfield.
And you know, Jonas Alonso did not make the tackle, but he made sure, because of his hustle, that play went nowhere, so it makes it a 3rd and 4.
So a clock under 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Panthers up by a touchdown, and Cavazos wants to keep it. Big hole right up the middle, breaks a tackle, and all the way down to the Nikki Rowe 35-yard line to pick up a 15 yards on 3rd down and short.
Cavazos once again showing his athleticism, doing a good job as you take a look at the secondary for the Warriors, Salinas, Ramirez, Rodriguez, and Alvarado.
So 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line, or excuse me, 35-yard line. And this is going to be play action. Pass is incomplete, a little bit low, intended for Jay Granados, who's a junior receiver. So we take a look at the linebackers. His good linebacker core. Ethan Ruiz was a defensive back last year, moved to linebacker this year. Then Jose Alonso, we talked about earlier. He's one of the captains. And then Emilio Topete, a junior, in there making his first start on the varsity.
Jose Alonso had a great year last year as a sophomore.
And here's another read option there by Cavazos. Makes a great run all the way past the 30 down to about the 26-yard line. Going to be just short of the 1st down, I believe.
And I guarantee you, once the defense gets on the sideline, defensive coach, he's going to talk to his defensive team. They're missing a lot of tackles so far early in the game. They've had opportunities to get the Panthers down for losses, but they're missing tackles. And that's going to happen early in the year.
And this quarterback, Cavazos, only a junior, but very impressive. The way he's been reading the defense and the way he's been moving the ball, and has a touchdown pass already and some great runs, as we have a timeout now called by the Weslaco Panthers. With the score, Weslaco 7 and Nikki Rowe nothing. 5:28 to play here in the first quarter. See a young future Warrior there from the stands.
And he just spotted himself.
Yeah, I can see himself up on the scoreboard. Now he's excited.
Video screen, look at him.
Yep, they're excited. This is the first of 2 home games this week that we'll bring to you tomorrow night, Friday, August 31st. We'll have the Mackay Bulldogs in their season opener going up against Brownsville Lobos.
Marcus, we have a little break. I was invited to the tailgate before the game.
You went to a tailgate?
And I've become the unofficial, self-proclaimed, I'm the one that's going to tell them how good their food was, and it's unbelievable. So Mackay and Memorial, you guys, you have your work cut off.
Wow. And here's a handoff to Knob on 3rd down and 1. Able to turn that corner. Looks like he has enough for the 1st down. He only needed a yard. He picked up 2, so that'll move the chains once again.
Knob is a big kid. He's not going to go down real easy. Once again, the left side of the Weslaco Panther offensive line doing their job.
In there on the tackle, a couple of players, including Alonso, the middle linebacker. Now on 1st and 10 as a handoff. This is a off tackle to the left side. A good run there by number 2, Roy Trevino.
They've spotted something on the left side, Mark. A lot of success running to the left. So we didn't get the starters before the game for the Panthers, but I do tell you that number 61, Cody Rodriguez, is doing a great job on the left side.
Hand off Trevino once again. This time he's bottled up at the line of scrimmage, then a late surge. He gets up to about the 16 for a gain of 1. He'll bring up third down.
I recognize that kid on the screen. He plays basketball. That's Coach Jose Hierba's son.
Oh, with the pink shirt?
And another basketball player there. It's good to see that the basketball team is out here supporting the football team.
I guess it was a Hawaiian theme they must have had at school today for the pep rally. Everybody's got their Hawaiian shirts on. They got their leis and their grass skirts and having a good time here. And third down and 3. Panthers 3 for 3 on third down already. Shotgun snap. Cavazos going to keep it, trying to go left, and Rowe is ready for it this time. Good read by the Nikki Rowe Warriors. The tackle by Hunter Wise was in there.
Jose Alonso. See, there was other plays earlier, Mark, that they had the opportunity to do the same thing and stop a first down opportunity, but they missed tackles. But there on that one, they made sure that Topete and Alonso did not miss the tackle.
They actually lost a yard, but they're going to go for it apparently here on fourth down. And now we've got a false start. This is going to move it back 5.
Number 63 on the offense.
And Mark,
Replay
it doesn't surprise me that Coach Salinas is not going for a field goal, because earlier before the game, as a field goal kicker was practicing, it was rough. I mean, the ball was just going all over the place. So they're probably playing that wind condition and decided not to go, even though it's a 4th and 9.
Yeah, 4th and 4 becomes 4th and 9, and apparently they'll still try to go for it. As Cavazos on the shotgun has some time, going to throw over the middle and tipped and incomplete, and Rowe will take over on downs. Great play there by the senior defensive back, Angel Rodriguez.
Yes, Angel Rodriguez did a good job, but there's a penalty on the offense that's going to be declined. But as we take a look at the pass, we don't get to see Angel Rodriguez did a good job of waiting so he would not commit a penalty, as the pass was intended for number 80. Good coverage.
So with exactly 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, Rowe will take over on downs at their own 22-yard line. So Rowe bends but doesn't break.
And that's a big stop, Mark. You don't want to go down.
Yeah, you don't want to go down 2 touchdowns early on.
First game of the year.
So this will be Rowe's second possession. They were 3 and out last time. Ortiz wants to throw, 4-man rush, and hits his man. That looks like signs at about the 29-yard line, a gain of 7 on the play.
Boy, Jonas Ortiz showing off his arm. What a very, very nice pass by Ortiz.
So second down and 3. This time Panthers blitz a little bit. It's a quick out, and this will pick up a first down. Nice little play there, and that looks like a new receiver, number 17, Jorge Peña.
Tackled by Roy Trevino. Mark, that's the type of offense the Warriors run in the spread. Short passes as we take a look at the backs and receivers.
Oh yeah, backs and receivers starters here. We got Ortiz and Bosquez in the backfield, and 4 receivers, Salinas, Sainz, Savage, and Ramos.
Little short passes can always go for big yardage.
And here's a little flip here. They got some good room crossing the 40. That's Angel Rodriguez doing some double duty here on offense and defense as he crosses the 40. Is close to another first down.
Not a surprise, Angel. They're expecting a lot from him on the offensive side.
Yeah, I picked up 11 yards. And now Ortiz going to his right. He's going to throw on the run. And this looks like he had it for a moment, then lost control. That was Ruben Salinas. First time they've targeted him. The lanky junior receiver, 6'1", 170 pounds. You can see the offensive line there. A lot of new faces there. The only returning starter is Rodrigo Davila, Jr. Then Talamantes, Zimmerman, Alejandro, and Chavarria also in there, making their first varsity starts.
Mark, and on that rollout, it shows you the talent of Jonas Ortiz rolling out and putting the ball right on the money.
So that went incomplete. Second down. Handoff up the middle. Looks like Bosques. And it is Bosques. His first carry up to about the 47-yard line. A gain of 3, and he'll bring up third down. So third down, the Warrior 47-yard line. Ortiz out of the gun against the blitz. Going to throw this, and it's incomplete, intended for Savage. Good coverage on the play by the Panthers, Jake Espinosa, and Rowe will bring out the punting unit.
And you got to give credit to Espinosa. You're right, Mark did a good job on the coverage. That forced Ortiz to try to get the ball in there, and he overthrew.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough angle. Had the defender right between him. You want to throw it on a kind of a line drive. It's hard to lob that in there. And the defender was right there in the way of Ortiz. This will be the second punt. Back to receive is number 1, Devin Dana. And here's the punt. They're going to kind of punt away from him so that he can't have a chance for a return. This takes a good road bounce all the way down to the 21-yard line.
And even though the Warrior offense did not stay on the field long enough, getting those first downs is very important, Mark, because it gives them a little confidence and it gives them pretty good. They gain about 30 yards on the field position, but there was a penalty. So we're going to see what's going on there.
Yeah, it's way back at the near the line of scrimmage.
So it's a penalty on the defense.
So you see the Rowe fans there?
It was like 4th and about 4 yards. If the penalties on the defense, it's good news, but I don't think it's the penalty is going to be on the Warriors. And
well, the Rowe defense is out there.
Number 28, Rowe. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 42, Weslaco. Those penalties will offset first down.
All right, so unsportsmanlike conduct on 2 players that offset. So the down will count. It'll be first down for Weslaco at the 21 there. We've got an official's timeout on the field right now.
you know, for the first game of the year, Mark, it's a pretty good crowd out here. Weslaco, their fans travel well.
Yeah, a lot of fans here on both sides tonight. You got a sea of green on the home side, a sea of purple on the visitor side. This will be Weslaco's third possession. They had a touchdown on their first possession and turned it over on downs deep in road territory on their second possession. They'll go shotgun again for Jacob Cavazos. Going to throw a quick out to the left side, and Nikki Rowe reads that one very well. Great play by Adrian Salinas coming up from his cornerback spot to make the tackle.
Salinas very alert, very alert.
Yeah, they lose 2 yards here on this completion.
Number 3, we talked about the last time, Mark, that he helped on the touchdown, but that time Adrian Salinas was not able to get the block on that play.
That was Denna, who number 1, who caught the football for -2. Now they come out with 3 receivers to the right, going to put a man in motion. Now a flag is down.
Ball start. Number 61 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
That's the 4th penalty in this first quarter here on Weslaco.
Mark, with 12 seconds to go, the clock is going to run, and they probably will get one more play.
And this isn't going to go anywhere. They had everybody back into the pattern, everybody covered as the quarterback is sacked there for a loss as the first quarter comes to an end. So we've reached the end of quarter number 1. So we take a look at this replay. He had no chance there. And Nikki Rowe getting stronger here as we see the sack by Perales as we go to break. You're watching football night in McAllen.
A community bank with all the conveniences you expect. A Rio Bank app, online banking, e-alerts, mobile check deposits, and ATM deposits. Rio Bank, your kind of bank, your kind of banker.
McAllen, I'm Mark May, along with Mario Reyna. After 1 quarter of play, the score is the Panthers 7 and Nikki Rowe nothing.
And it's a 3rd and 22. Good opportunity for the Warriors to get a stop and give their offense good field position.
So we've got 2 receivers left, 2 right, as one man starts too soon. This will move it back 5 yards.
The Panthers keep going in the opposite direction. Another 5 yards. Will make it 3rd and 27.
Replay 3rd down.
I don't think they'll put it in the air, Mark. I'd look for a little quarterback keeper or something like that. I don't think Coach Salinas wants to risk. He's got the lead 7-0. They're on their own 5-yard line. The defense has been playing well. There's the keeper.
Oh, yeah, tries to run it up the middle, and Nikki Rowe ready for that. Nikki Rowe, excellent penetration there, and what a game that Eric Morales, number 99, is having. He wasn't even in the starting lineup, but he has come out there and has gone like gangbusters, especially in this drive with the big sack for minus 10 yards, and then that big play there on 3rd down.
Nothing fancy on that one, except Morales wanting to make sure that he's getting some playing time, and he wants to make sure that his coaches notice him so they can play him more. And I guarantee you defensive coordinator Oscar Torres is taking a look at him.
Now the quarterback Cavazos is also their punter. Sends this one all the way to midfield. It's picked up on the bounce at about the 49. And then a tough 2-yard return there.
That's
for,
as tough as it gets, Mark.
Yeah, Angel Rodriguez. He got hit by everybody.
It was kind of risky for him to go try to get a ball that's bouncing. Luckily, that bounce went right in between the numbers for him.
Yeah, picked it up like Cal Ripken playing shortstop.
All right, Mark.
You like those baseball references, I know.
Absolutely. We're in baseball season and football season.
You see the tiaras. It's always dance season for them. And 1st and 10, good territory here. They're in Weslaco territory. So handoff up the middle to Bosquez, who is flipped over after a short gain to about the 46-yard line. I think they're going to give him credit to the 45, so a gain of 3 on the play.
Is one of those offensive players that he's going to run hard. So far, he hasn't had a lot of opportunities. The holes are not there on the offensive side for the Warriors.
Yeah, Warriors only 17 yards in 4 rushes so far. 3 down linemen for Weslaco. Shotgun snap. Ortiz going to hand this off. Bosquez again. Breaks a tackle at the line. Bulls his way forward to about the 43, and it'll be 3rd down.
Not much. Not much is open so far. But if the Warriors are running the ball, it's because the Panther defense, they're throwing out some stunts out there, Mark, that they're not wanting to allow the Warriors to throw the ball.
So 3rd down, about 5. So they're going to flip this. And a short gain. Looks like he's going to be a little bit short.
It's either the right foot or the left foot. What is
Ethan Ruiz. So
it's
Ruiz
going to be very close there, Mark. I think they'll probably have a measurement, or the referees are taking a look at this.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's a lot closer than I first thought.
They're going to take a measurement here. I would think, Mark, that regardless of whether they get a first down, we know that Robert Flores over the years, he doesn't have a problem going for it on 4th down, especially early in the season. Try to get a little confidence for that offensive line.
Here comes the chain gang to measure this. Officials timeout with 9:37 to play in the first half.
It is short.
Yeah, about half a yard short. And
the
that'll
good
bring up
news,
fourth
it gives
down.
Coach Robert Flores and offensive coordinator Sean Taratola some extra time to think about what play to run. You do have Jonas Ortiz, good athlete, and Bosque seems to be a tough runner. I don't foresee a pass here, Mark. Not on a 4th and 1.
Yeah, I think Bosque is physical enough, and the offensive line physical enough that he can churn out 1 yard. And Weslaco's generally going with 3 down linemen in this game, so we'll see what they do if Rowe does go for it.
And when they do that, Mark, in the box, there's not that many defensive players. That's why you see the Warriors running the ball.
The Warriors appear like they'll go for it on 4th down and less than a yard in Panther territory. Ortiz in the gun. Man in motion is signed. So going to fake to him. Ortiz going to keep it. And Weslaco reads that beautifully. He's not going to get there. He's going to be nailed for a loss back to the 47. Loss of 3 on 4th and 1.
There was nothing there, Mark, nothing Ortiz could do. The defense did not go for the fake. Good disciplined defense. And I guarantee you that defensive coordinator Alonso. Oh, what a big break, Mark. Penalty.
Wow.
And that's almost like a turnover, in my opinion, Mark, because the Weslaco defense did a good job. As you take a look at the replay, there's no way that Jonas Ortiz was going to get a first down on that one. But because of the penalty, they get a first down. So the Warriors get a big break, and let's see if they can take advantage of it.
Yeah, that was costly for the Panthers. Their 6th penalty in this first half. And that one was certainly costly. They had stopped Rowe on downs, but now Rowe given new life. Play action for Ortiz. Wants to go deep for the end zone.
Oh, that's a
and
penalty.
It is, incomplete, but
that's
a flag
penalty.
is down.
There's no doubt the defender was beaten, and he panicked, and he was not even covering the ball. He was all over the receiver, and I could have thrown the flag from up here, Mark. I don't have one. But that's how easy that call was, as I recognize that official, Rodney Kasi. That's going to be pass interference. Good job by Jonas making sure.
Defense, number 28, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So, yeah, pass interference. They were going for the end zone intended for Ruben Salinas. So we take a look at the replay here.
And Mark, the important play here is that Jonas put the ball where it's supposed to be. We didn't see the defender, but he was all over the receiver before the ball got there. That was an easy call.
So it's a 15-yard penalty in high school. So that moves it up to the 17-yard line. First down. And you can see this play doesn't get much. Again, Weslaco's defense rising to the challenge, and that was Angel Rodriguez on the carry.
And Seth Sanchez, also assisted by Raul Camarena. But number 44, Seth Sanchez, is a defensive player to watch for the Panthers. He's the one that messed up the whole play.
Okay, Ortiz wants to keep it this time. Trying to bounce it outside. Turns that corner. Has close to a first down. Not quite. Now a flag comes down after the play from back in the middle of the field.
And Mark, I think the flag there's a new rule that I was told that you cannot block below the knees. And I think that's what they're going to get the Warriors for. A block.
Offense.
There you go.
Number 27. Spot of the foul. 15 yards. First down. Sorry,
That
replay.
would,
Second down.
I believe that would not have been a penalty last year. But it's a new rule. It's a safety rule. So we take a look at the replay. Jonas Ortiz, looking downfield, wasn't able to spot anything. Did the right thing to run. And right there, Mark, on top of the screen, that's the illegal block. And it's all going back to protect the players. Safety rules.
Yeah, oftentimes if you're a smaller player trying to block a bigger, more physical player, it's to your advantage to go low.
Yeah, and you're just going to have to remember that you can't do that anymore.
So that moves the ball back 15 yards to the 32-yard line. And here they flip this over to Bosquez, and Bosquez gets across the 30 to near the 27-yard line. Picks up some of that penalty yardage back. But it's going to be third down and long.
Tortola is doing is trying to get some yardage back, a good safe play. He knows he's not going to get the big yardage for the first down, so he takes about 7 or 8 yards, and that is third and 21. He's probably going to try to do the same thing here, Mark. Try to get himself another 10 yards to make it a reasonable fourth down.
And Ortiz going to roll out to his left, going to fire this one. It's caught at about the 16-yard line. That'll be about 9 yards short of the first down. Good catch there by Ruben Salinas.
But that's what Coach Tarantola was doing, is getting Ruben Salinas open. He took those yards, and a 4th and 10 is kind of doable compared to a 4th and 16 or 17. And when you have a quarterback with a good arm, you certainly have a chance to get a first down.
Now to attempt a field goal from here would be about 34 yards, but they're going to go for it here.
I think we're going to have a timeout.
At least they were lined up to go for it. Now a timeout called by Nikki Rowe. 6:47 to play here in the second quarter, and it's the Panthers 7, the Warriors nothing. Timeout Warriors facing a fourth down. We'll be back in just a moment. And we're back here on Football Night in McAllen. I'm Mark May, along with Mario Reyna, our 11th season of Football Night in McAllen. Hope you're enjoying this season opener. Weslaco on top of Nikki Rowe, 7-0. The Warriors facing a 4th down and 10 from their own 16-yard line, or rather the Panthers' 16-yard line. And we're lined up to go for it, then called a timeout. And it looks like they will run a play here. So you see there one of the defensive captains for the Panthers, Marco Noriega, number 13. Alejandro will snap it. Ortiz in the gun. 3 receivers left. 1 receiver to the right wants to throw it right toward the end zone. 1 man there, and it's tipped and incomplete. Panthers had 2 defensive backs on the play guarding David Savage, the intended receiver, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
Well, give credit to the Panther defense. They made it real difficult for Ortiz. He did throw the ball into a double coverage. Savage did not have a chance.
We recognize Robert and Lauren Lozano family for their generosity and support. And we invite you fans to join us in demonstrating our appreciation. If the Lozano family sees us these days, we recognize at this time. Thank you.
Okay, 1st and 10. Going to hand this off. This is Knob, who is going to carry it up to about the 20-yard line and bring up 2nd down after a gain of about 4 on the play.
Mark, earlier on the scoreboard, I saw Dr. Gonzalez at the general session, and he was as excited as anybody. And maybe is there anywhere? Have you seen him?
I think I have.
Oh, he's right here, right behind us.
Yeah.
I like to hear him talk about that excitement, the news about McAllen ISD, and here we go.
And here's the quarterback, Cavazos, going to keep this close to a first down as he's pushed out of bounds by the Nikki Rowe defender, Adrian Salinas. And we'll see, that'll either be close to a first down or he might be just short. I think they've right now got him just about a half-yard short. So it's officially a 5-yard pickup and bring up 3rd down. With us right now is Dr. Jay Gonzalez. He is the superintendent of schools for McAllen ISD. He's up here in the booth with us. And Dr. Gonzalez, go ahead and say hello to everyone as we take a look at the 3rd down here. And it looks like the Panthers have picked up and converted the first down with a big run there by Knob. Went straight up the middle all the way up to the 41-yard line, a gain of 16 on the play. And that puts him over 100 yards rushing in this game. They're 4 for 5 on third down, doing pretty well there. And Dr. Gonzalez, thanks for coming up and everything. And I know today was an exciting day. We had a press conference this morning to welcome a new member to the McAllen ISD family.
Very excited to be partnering up with Dairy Queen. They are a nationally owned, locally owned, outstanding business. So very happy to be partnering up with Dairy Queen and the wonderful Lozano family. It's just a very, very special time in McAllen ISD to be partnering up with such a wonderful organization.
Yeah, and I know the Lozano family, Robert Lozano, said some terrific things too, that he has wanted to be part of the community, wants to support kids, and this is a great way to do that.
Absolutely. Mr. Lozano's got a heart of gold, and his whole organization is really focused on customer service. They take a love-based family approach, and it's very aligned with what we do in McAllen ISD. So McAllen ISD is blessed to be part of the Dairy Queen family, and we're happy to have Dairy Queen be part of our family.
And I know we have some other sponsors in there too that have really helped out, in Lone Star Bank and Bogus Ford, Rio Bank, and Performance Therapeutics. And can you talk a little bit about the financing model that we brought these sponsors on board? We brought this massive, wonderful scoreboard here, and how all that works.
Well, one of the things is we're very proud because our stadium, when you look at DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium and you see this beautiful scoreboard, we're able to showcase all the great things that students are doing. And what we love about how we made it happen is that taxpayers didn't have to pay for it, and we didn't go into the district coffers to make it happen. It was a true team effort with the business community in McAllen. So we're very, very proud, and we're very blessed to have a supportive business community, and we feel fortunate to be able to provide this to our community, because this is an experience when you come to DQ Fan Field.
Yeah, you can just feel the electricity here, and when kids see themselves up on the scoreboard, they get even more excited, and so on. And I know there's a lot of great things that have been happening, and Mario alluded to the General Assembly, where we had all of the teachers and staff back, and you had some great news for them, and and I'm sure a lot of the community has heard, but I know some members of the community have not heard that good news. And tell us about that.
Well, our core business is educating kids, and the state accountability is tougher than it's ever been in the history of public education in Texas. So for McAllen ISD to earn an A on the accountability rating system from Texas Education Agency's perspective, for us to come together and earn that A as a district and to be on a very short list, it says a lot about our community. It says a lot about our teachers and our students' resiliency. So we're just thrilled that we were able to reach that level of performance, and we are challenging ourselves to stay on this path of excellence. But we have definitely established ourselves as a top-notch school district in our state. It's because we have world-class teachers and great leaders, and we all come together to make things happen. So to all the teachers out there, thank you so much for the energy that you put in and day out. And to all the students, thank you for performing at a very high level. And to all the parents, thank you for making McAllen ISD your district of choice. And also thank you for being great parents and challenging your children to do their very best, because in the end, that's what happens. You score at that level. An A as a 6A large school district is phenomenal.
And it takes everybody coming together. Yeah, I believe fewer than 13% of school districts at all sizes across the state were part of that A rating.
That's right. I mean, we also earned the post-secondary readiness distinction, which is very difficult to earn as well, and the financial integrity rating system of Texas, and that's on the finance side. So if you look at school districts that earn the A, plus the post-secondary readiness, plus the first rating, there's only 3 school districts in our state that were able to do that with a student population of over 20,000, and McAllen ISD is one of them.
Wow, only three in the state.
3 in the state with a student population of over 20,000, and McAllen ISD is one of them. We're very proud of that. But that proves that McAllen ISD is a very competitive district, and our community can compete with anybody, anywhere.
All right, 2nd down and 10 for Nikki Rowe at their own 26. Ortiz wants to throw it. It's complete, but no room at all for Ruben Saenz as he's quickly tackled by Raul Camarena. And it'll bring up 3rd down and long here for Nikki Rowe. And Dr. Gonzalez, I know the school year has just started. This was the first week of school. I guess another interesting headline that's been out there is the area of safety. I know our middle schools have gotten a new look, and also our elementary schools a while back.
Yeah, we're proud of our facilities maintenance and operation department. They worked very hard over the summer to ensure that we were ready for the school year, and all of our middle schools have safety foyers now. which really provide an environment that's safer for our students. So we're very, very proud of that.
Wow, incredible catch there by Lorenzo Lopez, just a sophomore, as he skied up to make that one. And that keeps moves the football for Nikki Rowe here. Wow, terrific play there. Now, I know you used to be a coach, so I know this has you excited.
Yeah, you learn a lot about the game of life when you either play football or coach football. So there's a lot of parallels between what those young men are going, what's happening in their mind right now and working as a team. It's really giving them that level of resiliency that it takes to perform, not only on the football field, but later on down the road. You're looking at future doctors and lawyers and educators, engineers, servicemen, businessmen. So these guys are learning a lot. And then you look around at the cheerleaders and the band and the steppers and all the others, the ROTC, and everybody else is taking part of this beautiful evening, and they're just learning so much about life, and that's what makes it so special.
All right, well, Dr. Gonzalez, thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping by, sharing all that wonderful news with us, and it's great seeing you.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Mario. Appreciate listening to you guys. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
All right, Lalo Bosquez on that short carry after carrying it on first down for a gain of 6. And now it's going to bring up third down and about, well, I was going to say third and short, but it looks like
third and
they
8.
actually lost yardage on there.
Mark, who made that fabulous catch? I wasn't able to get that.
That was Lorenzo Lopez.
Lorenzo Lopez,
sophomore.
Boy, that play right there was, those are the type of plays you see in the NFL, Mark. It was
that was like an Odell Beckham type catch there.
Absolutely, and Jonas put it right where he was supposed to. Oh, and here's the replay. Thank you. The guys are right on cue. I appreciate that. Look at that. Off balance, and he hung onto that ball. That's going to be a highlight reel for the entire year. What a great catch. He should be proud of himself. Look at him get all excited. Look at the coach, Torres.
Yeah.
And Mark, Coach, Superintendent Gonzalez, what an exciting guy he is when he comes up and speaks. And that, people say, why have you worked for McAllen ISD for 38 years in a row? And Dr. Gonzalez tells you why. One of 3 schools with those awards. That's unheard of.
Yeah, with those four distinctions there.
Wow.
There's our assistant superintendent, or associate superintendent, Miss Bridget B., who researched that, looking through all the lists and figured that out, that we were just one of just 3 districts that we see an incomplete pass on third down.
So what would you do here, Mark? It's going to be 4th and 8, a minute and 30 seconds to go. As we see the Hawaiian-style attire.
Yeah, I think it was the theme today at Nikki Rowe High School.
So they're going to go for it. Robert Flores trying to get something positive before halftime.
Okay, so he's going. Ortiz wants to throw it, and this is incomplete. Ran out of real estate there on the sideline. I think it was intended for Signs, and Signs will just stay on the sideline as the punting, or rather the defensive unit will come out there.
So now the Panthers up 7-0 with 1:23 to go. They're in good field position. You bet that Coach Salinas is going to try to cash in on this.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a gamble there, because you are giving Weslaco the ball near midfield, their own 44-yard line, with 1:23 on the clock. Panthers are down to just 1 timeout.
And the only thing I haven't seen is that the Panthers haven't shown the ability to throw the ball.
And here we go as the quarterback Cavazos will roll out to his right, throws it incomplete. Rowe had that well defended. And bring up 2nd and 10. So the Rowe defense, they gave up some yardage there on the first drive as Weslaco went in for an opening drive touchdown, but since then, Rowe has been holding firm.
On that rollout, Cavazos did not do a good job, and that's what I was saying, that there's been a couple on the rollouts by Jonas Ortiz, and he's done a good job of putting the ball, and that's where he uses his baseball skills.
Yeah, Adrian Salinas guarding on that play, a pass intended for Denna, as we see Knob there in the backfield. Man goes in motion. Cavazos wants to throw. Is going to hit the motion man. That was caught by Jaden Cavazos, who's out of bounds with a short gain. Stops the clock at 1:13 and brings up third down.
Number 3 also on the tackle, Adrian
Gain of
Salinas.
only 4.
So that makes it a 3rd and 6. Both defenses have done a pretty good job to keep the scores down at 7-0.
A low snap on 3rd down. They throw this one a little bit high and incomplete. Again, it was intended for Cavazos, and that'll bring up 4th down.
You would have to think that Coach Salinas does not want to give up. If they don't make the 1st down, I don't think he wants to give the ball back to the Warriors on their side of the field, but I don't see the punting unit coming in.
Of course, we know the quarterback, Cavazos, is their punter, so he could always do a quick kick.
You're right, Mark. That's something that might happen maybe. But the clock is winding down. More than likely, we're going to have a timeout, and we do.
Yeah.
Timeout.
They're going to take their 3rd and final timeout of the half with 1:09 to go here in the 2nd quarter. It's the Panthers up 7-0 at facing a 4th and long at midfield. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
Welcome to the What's Better game at Bogus. It doesn't matter how you roll, just pick the wheels that fit your style, new or pre-owned.
DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. Mark May with Mario Reyna and the rest of our MITV crew. Also have some student assistants helping us as part of the crew. I hope you're enjoying this coverage. Non-district season opener for Weslaco and Nikki Rowe. Punt formation for Weslaco in the white. And Cavazos will punt it off for the 3rd time this evening. And Rowe won't get a return. This is going to go way back into Rowe territory, and a perfect kick and a nice stop there for the Weslaco special teams. That was KJ Jones, who was able to down it around the 1-yard line with 57 seconds left in the 1st half.
And don't expect anything fancy. What a great punt, a special team play right there. But don't expect anything fancy by the Warrior offense. You will take going down 7-0. And fortunately for the Warriors, the Panthers do not have a timeout left, so they can't stop the clock.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that Rowe could just run it straight ahead a couple of times and go in at halftime. But Ortiz is going to go out of the shotgun, wants to throw it. It's over the middle, and it's caught by Signs up to the 9-yard line. So a gain of 8 on the play.
And that's Coach Terratola, offensive coordinator, not afraid to put the ball in the air, even though you were on your own 4 or 5 yard line.
Clock still running, 36 seconds left. Rowe has 2 timeouts to work with. Is Ortiz going to try to keep it? Trying to turn that quarter now. He's just going to be forced out of bounds at the 5. Didn't want to risk getting caught in bounds and have to burn a timeout, so he'll lose 4 yards.
I don't know if going out of bounds was good for the Warriors there, because I would just say run out the clock, get into the locker room, try to regroup, and try to get a little consistency. That's what's hurt the Warrior offense. They've been inconsistent.
I imagine they'll keep this next play on the ground because an incompletion would stop the clock, force a punt. An out-of-bounds run would stop the clock and force a punt, but Weslaco can't stop it if the tackle's made in bounds.
I'd be very surprised if they put it in the air. Well, luckily they caught the ball, Mark, so the clock is going to continue to run.
Yeah, Jorge Pena makes the catch, but a little bit shaken up there, so there's an official's timeout as it brings up 4th down as he advanced the ball for 7 yards up to the 12-yard line.
You know, and we might be surprised that the Warriors are throwing the ball there. If it would have been incomplete, you're going to give the ball away, but that's the culture of the Warrior offense. A pass for them, Mark, is as good as a handoff.
They've stopped the clock at 23 seconds right now. It is a 1st down, actually. Picked up 7 yards. They needed 6. So they do have a first down at the 13-yard line. Let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll continue in just a moment. 23 seconds left before halftime. Weslaco 7, Rowe nothing. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
Our goal is to help you grow and prosper with the right financial tools, quality customer service, and banking done with honesty and integrity. Rio Bank, your kind of bank, your kind of banker.
And we're back here on Football Night in McAllen. Mark May with Mario Reyna, 23 seconds left before halftime. And the Warriors have a 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line. Just 23 seconds to work with, however. Coming up at halftime, we'll have the marching bands, the Weslaco Panther marching band, followed by the Mighty Warrior marching band. And then the second half of football. Well, the Warriors are going to put trips to the left and 2 receivers to the right as Ortiz throws it left for the sideline, nearly caught. It would have been a nice over-the-shoulder catch. Angel Rodriguez, the intended receiver, and closely guarding on the play was 26 Matthew Calderon for Weslaco. So that'll bring up second down and stops the clock with 6 seconds left. Ortiz in this first half has completed 8 passes for 92 yards.
He just hasn't been able to get into rhythm, and that's the type of offense they have, Mark. The spread offense is about rhythm. Once you start connecting 2 or 3 passes in a row, it just all falls in place. So give credit to the defense for the Panthers. They're pitching a shutout, and their defensive coordinator, Mark, is Coach Alonso, Ernie Alonso, and I bet you didn't know this. He coached at Nikki Rowe.
Oh. So has a little inside information. Okay, 6 seconds left. And the Warriors will hand this off. And carry on the play. Last play of the half, Lorenzo Lopez. And he goes down after a 2-yard pickup. So we're at halftime, and our halftime score was Weslaco 7, Nikki Rowe nothing. The Panthers scored on the opening drive, and then both teams held serve the rest of the way. So we're at that break. Weslaco by a touchdown. The marching bands of the Panthers and Warriors coming right up. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
A round of applause for the Tiara. And now, the Mighty Warrior Band will present a portion of their Christmas show entitled Bailamos. The show represents music from the three styles of dance: tango, waltz, and danzón. Let's make it noise and welcome the Mighty Warrior Band. Under the field direction of drum majors, Kendra Debbie. Lucina Nazario and Gabriela Perales. Grab your beverage and your popcorn, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Mighty Warriors Band as they present Bailamos. Ladies and gentlemen, a big tomahawk wave for your Nikki Rowe Warrior Band. Welcome to the
Weslaco, who went onside kick on the opening kickoff, recovered a loose ball and went in for a touchdown, which would prove to be the only touchdown of the first half. As we see the halftime stats, 7-0 our score. First downs, 7 for Weslaco, 5 for Nikki Rowe. Rushing yards, Weslaco relying much more on the running game than the Warriors, 93-16 there. Passing yards, though, the Warriors were the team throwing the ball. They had 93 yards to 21 for the Panthers. Total yards almost identical. And in penalties, Panthers hurt themselves with 8 penalties for 50 yards in that first half. About 6 of them, I think, in the first quarter alone. The Warriors picked up just 2 penalties and no turnovers, although the Warriors did give it up on the onside kick.
Yeah,
that
we have
led to
a
the
little
Weslaco
boo-boo on
touchdown.
that one, but it's early season, Mark. It's early season. But that turnover did turn into points. So that's probably, that was a key to the game. And but both teams not really executing their game plan, struggling with the inconsistency.
Yeah, it was a touchdown. Was a 7-yard pass from the quarterback Jacob Cavazos to the receiver Devin Denna. It was the first pass of the game for the Warriors, and went to a touchdown. As we see the big scoreboard there on the left side of your screen, and take a look at that big A right there. That big fancy A is emblematic of the A rating that McAllen ISD received from the state accountability ratings from the Texas Education Agency. They went to A through F system this year, much more like a report card. And McAllen ISD got an A. And the Warriors are coming out ready to start the second half. They're looking to put their A game on as they take on these Panthers here in the second half of football.
And to receive the ball here to start the second half, the Panthers will be getting the ball.
Yeah, they actually won the toss in the first half and deferred so they could get the ball to start the second half. Looks like that was a sound decision. The coach Michael Salinas, head coach of the Panthers. And there we see Coach Robert Flores there in the gray shirt on the right side of the screen. In his third year as head coach, of course, a former Warrior himself back in the 1990s.
And Michael Salinas, a former Bobcat. And I know his dad. Coach Salinas was a basketball coach in Harlingen, and then he went on to coach football in Edinburgh. And talk about an intense man, always coaching, very intense. And I'm sure a lot of those traits have rubbed off to head coach Michael Salinas from the Weslaco Panthers.
And Coach Robert Flores terrific
And he
offensive
has to be
player back
happy
in
with
his day.
defense. He has to be happy with his defense. And the offense has missed some golden opportunities. And that's why you play these non-district games.
Yeah, and actually the teams in District 36A have one less non-district game this year because there's now 8 teams in the district. There used to be 7. So it's one less week to get your team ready for district.
And the Weslaco schools will be playing the Edinburgh schools and Donna North. Is that?
Yeah, they'll play, of course, Weslaco East. And 31 6A was reconfigured as well. So it's Weslaco East, the 4 Edinburgh schools, and then Donna North. So that's a 17 district.
So
and there we see
there's much of a guarantee that at least 1 or 2 Edinburgh schools will get into those playoffs.
See Marco Noriega, defensive stalwart for Weslaco, back there to help block. And there's the kick by Jonathan Velasquez. This will go out of bounds. That'll be a flag down. And we'll see if they move this back 5 yards. Nikki Rowe cheerleaders. Let's see what the call is.
I bet you Weslaco will stay on the field, Mark. Because as you recall,
We have illegal kick out of bounds on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty from the previous re-kick.
Re-kick. Oh no, they're going to make him kick again. Remember what happened to Rowe? The first play of the game, same scenario, and they decided to go with a re-kick and ended up with a fumble.
So Rowe will kick now from their 35-yard line. So ready to start this third quarter of play here at DQ Fan Field. Rowe fans, the student body into it. You always see a good turnout, whether it's Rowe or Mackay or Memorial. Always a lot of students come out to support the football team and the band and cheerleaders and all the other student groups that help make high school football, especially in Texas, so special.
Absolutely. Congratulations to DJ Zayas.
Yeah, recognizing the Student of the Week up on the scoreboard. DJ Zayas, a senior at Nikki Rowe. And here's the kick, and be fielded about the 11. Big room there, 20 yards. And now across the 40, 32-yard return there for Roy Trevino. And Weslaco have excellent field position, so making Rowe re-kick it, a sound decision.
And anytime you have your kicker making a tackle, that's not good news.
You know, another reason why I think teams might sometimes elect to have the team re-kick is because the kicking team is a little bit gassed after having just sprinted the length of the field.
That's right.
And now making them do it again, they can sometimes you can find some seams there.
Well, they gained about 20 yards, so that's a good call by Coach Salinas. Once again, anytime you have your kicker on the tackle on a kickoff, Jonathan Velasquez, that's not good news.
So Cavazos in the gun.
And here we go.
We've got a
here
false
we go
start.
again. Why not, right?
Yeah,
they had
this
8 penalties.
This plagued Weslaco in the first half. 8 first half penalties.
Game. Weslaco, 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
And those are the type of penalties that by the time you get to district play, you cannot afford.
So man in motion, that was Isaac Villarreal. And they're going to throw this out to number 3, Jaden Cavazos.
Well
Cavazos brought down by Adrian Salinas.
Adrian Salinas.
So just a 2-yard gain.
The Weslaco offense looked like they were ready to dominate the game in the first half, and now the penalties and the inconsistencies has hurt them.
You saw Cavazos. Now here's the handoff to Trevino. Trevino trying to turn that corner, and Rowe is ready for it as a flag comes in near the end of the play. And Rowe brought him down. Jesse Garza in there on the tackle.
I think we have a holding.
Also, Jorge Barrera got in there on the tackle. But let's see what this call is.
I saw a holding Is that what the official saw too, Mark? There you go.
Number 63 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
Wow, that's 10 penalties now for this Weslaco team here early third quarter.
There's the Warrior.
Yeah, Warrior mascot.
She's always very energetic.
Yeah, she was at the press conference this
sure
morning.
Was.
For Dairy Queen.
A lot of energy. She was up and down, jumping.
Also had the Mackay and Memorial mascots there too. And also the Dairy Queen Blizzard mascot. It's a sea of mascots this morning. As we fake the handoff, Cavazos wants to keep it, turns that corner across the 35 up to about the 37. And he's brought down by the linebacker Ruiz. He's up to about the 38-yard line, a gain of 9 on the play, but it's going to be third down at about 15.
You know, that's what offensive coordinators do when they had a long second and long yardage. They try to get a little bit at a time.
It's actually a 3rd and 14 now. And Panthers haven't been that comfortable throwing the football in this game. They've preferred to run it when they can. Cavazos, deep drop, going to throw it over the middle, and it's incomplete. Intended for Jaden Cavazos. I think that was Noe Ramirez.
Number 17.
And also 17?
Yes. Jorge Peña.
Jorge Peña. Cheerleaders like that one. So, yeah, here's a good stat indicative of how Rowe's defense has improved as this game has gone along, Mario. Weslaco started out 4 for 4 on third downs. They are now 4 for 8. So they're 0 for their last 4 on third down. Cavazos will punt it. His fourth punt. This takes a bit of a Warrior bounce, now a Panther bounce or roll back to the 30-yard line in Rowe territory.
And the Warrior defense continues to shine.
So the Warriors have it with 10:36 to play here in the third quarter. Warriors still trailing 7-0. The Warriors had a pretty high-powered offense last year.
I'm sure they'll have it again this year as you take a look at the drum line. Mark, It's all about rhythm. Jonas Ortiz, they're throwing a lot of wrinkles at him. He just hasn't been able to get a consistent pattern. The timing isn't there.
Yeah, only 3 starters back on offense. So, yeah, it'll take a little bit of time to get their sea legs. As a fumble in the backfield, and Ortiz has to fall on it. He is touched down by Jesse Ramos, the defensive end. We'll take a look at the replay.
That does not look good. It started off bad, Mark. If we take a look at the replay, you're going to see that Jonas did a good job. It was a high snap, and that threw him off. Did a good job of just getting in there and recovering his own fumble.
Yeah, Jake Espinosa also in there for Weslaco. So it's 2nd down and 14 now after a loss of 4, and this is caught by Ruben Salinas. Ruben Salinas up near the 40-yard line, very close to our first down. Yeah, it's enough for a first down. Wow.
You know, whatever, any quarterback at any level, especially at the high school, when you roll out, Mark, and you take a look how he passes, he throws BBs out there.
Yeah, they pick up 15 yards on 2nd and 14. First down now, under 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. And now, again, nowhere to go as they hand that off to Bosquez, and he's going to lose yards.
And that, give credit to the defensive coordinator. He is not afraid to be blitzing, and that was a linebacker that came in. Marco Noriega having a great game. He came up from his outside linebacker position.
So 2nd and 14 again. Man comes in motion. They're going to flip to him. It looks like Signs. Signs is going to be strung out, well defended, and Weslaco wraps him up. It was Roy Trevino and also the linebacker Seth Sanchez in there on that stop. That's a good angle right there. You can see the road drum line in your foreground, the cheerleaders and the fans behind them.
Take a look at the replay. This was going nowhere. There's about 4 or 5 Weslaco Panthers defenders reading the play for another loss. So it makes it 3rd and 15.
That was actually Noe Ramirez on the carry, playing offensive defense tonight, loses a yard, and that brings up 3rd down. There's a long pass on 3rd down, incomplete. Looks like it was intended for Christian Ramos.
Jonas Ortiz did a good job to avoid a rusher that was going to get him. But anytime you rush a quarterback, Mark, that's when they don't make those accurate passes. Oh, what a big break, Mark. We have a penalty. And instead of a 4th and 15, there was a roughing the passer penalty against the Panthers. And not only are they hurting themselves on offense with penalties, now they're hurting themselves on defense. That's like a turnover, Mark. You're supposed to get the ball, and because of a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, you just gave new life to the Warrior offense.
And the cheerleaders happy about that. Yeah, kept the drive alive. They would have had to punt or in that 4th down situation. Ortiz, good protection, throws over the middle, and it's intercepted at the 25-yard line. It's being run back across the 40, picks up some blocks into Rowe territory. Now at the 40-yard line of the Warriors and goes inside the 30 before he's forced out of bounds. A huge return off the interception by Axel Camarena, the cornerback, a senior for Weslaco. That's our first turnover of the evening.
Second. You know, I don't know what happened to Jonas there. I don't know what he was looking at, but something went wrong. Maybe a receiver did not follow the pass route, because if we take a look at that replay, Mark, that ball went right to the safety. Check this out, Mark. Jonas went back. He expected something to happen, and the ball came out wobbly, and it went right. There was no Warrior receiver in the area.
Yeah, good blocking there by Weslaco as they convert from defense to offense, and a huge return.
And there was also a penalty. I think it's a sideline warning, maybe.
Yeah, a return of about 45 yards. All the way to the Rowe 27-yard line.
Let's see what the referee says. There you go. Sideline warning.
That's their first warning.
And Mark, let's take a look to see what the Panthers do on this turnover. Do they take advantage? Even if they can get 3 points, the way the Warrior offense is struggling, it could be a huge 3 points. As we take a look at the screen, Coach Robert Flores wanting to know the reason for the sideline warning. Got his explanation.
We'll see the Rowe offense there. Some chalk talks on the sideline. So the Rowe offense still trying to get in gear in this game. They trail 7-0. Weslaco in Rowe territory at the 27-yard line. First down, they hand this off. This is Knobb's spin move up to about the 25, a gain of only 2.
Nothing much up the middle. You know, at the beginning of the game, Mark, the Panthers were having a lot of success to the left side, but some adjustments by the Warrior defense put a stop to that.
I'll go with 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. Pump fake, throwing for the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown. Wow. Weslaco hasn't thrown much in this game, but they have thrown effectively. And that is their second touchdown pass of the night for Cavazos. This one caught by Jaden Cavazos for the big 25-yard touchdown.
And you just pretty much give credit to the throw by Cavazos and the reception. Excellent. Over-the-shoulder catch by Jaden Cavazos. So you're looking at the Cavazos to Cavazos connection.
So here's the extra point try, up and good. It's 2 for 2 for George Martinez. And it's
2
the
for
Panthers.
2, Mark, on taking advantage of turnovers. They scored 14 points off of turnovers, and that was one of our keys to the game.
It's 14-0 now. which normally would not be a tremendous deficit for this high-octane Nikki Rowe team, but Rowe has had their trouble finding the end zone tonight. The Panther defense is held firm, and it's 14-0 our score right now with just under 8 minutes to play here in the third quarter. We'll go ahead and take a break. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a moment.
Make sure you follow McAllen ISD on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is the best and quickest way to catch important information about McAllen ISD schools. Plus, you can see the latest videos. So get in touch with McAllen ISD.
And that last scoring drive went just 2 plays, 27 yards. The big one, of course, a 25-yard touchdown pass from the quarterback, Jacob Cavazos, to the receiver, Jaden Cavazos.
And Mark, sometimes we might be thinking that the Warrior offense is struggling with their inconsistencies, but it is created by the defense. The Panthers doing a great job.
And I should point out that the drive, as we see the kickoff here, returned about to the 25-yard line by, looks like Noe Ramirez on the return there. And the drive was set up by an interception by the Panthers' Axel Camarena, who returned to the interception about 45 yards all the way to the Rowe 27-yard line. So we see Ramirez come off the field. So Rowe has it their own 25-yard line with 7:45 to play in the third quarter. Okay, Ortiz in the gun. Man goes in motion to get a play action. Looks like he's trying to set up a screen over on the right side, and Weslaco has that defense.
How about
as
that,
they
Mark?
forced no gain on Lorenzo Lopez, who earlier in the first half made a circus catch.
And Jesse Ramos, a defensive end that does not look like he has a lot of speed, but boy, he really hustled.
Yeah, Seth Sanchez, defensive tackle, also in there, forcing him out of bounds as Ortiz gets the new play fed in from the sideline.
I do believe Ortiz is wearing a new number this year.
Yeah, he is. As Ortiz back to throw, is hit in the backfield, and he's going to be sacked.
Was there a fumble?
I think it may have come loose. Looks like Bosquez came up with it.
That would have been disastrous if they would not have recovered the fumble.
I think it was Adrian Fuentes who got the sack on Ortiz. Yes, Ortiz wore number 8 last year.
There
Number
you
1
go.
was wide receiver Adrian Bernal.
That's right.
Remember him, he graduated. So Ortiz now wearing number 1 this year. Now facing a precarious 3rd down and 17. Warriors 2 for 7 on 3rd down in this game. Ortiz wants to throw it along the left side and is down there, and it's a great catch. That's going to be a first down at the 48-yard line.
Wow.
He was covered like a blanket, but Ruben Salinas pulls it in, using that 6'1" frame to reach up there and grab that football and move it all the way up to the Rowe 48-yard line, a gain of 23 yards.
Maybe that's exactly what the Warrior offense needed, a great play like that. Jonas putting it right where it had to be. Great catch. And what does that do, Mark? It inspired their offense, and in this next play, on a running play, finally Bosquez having some running. He went right up the middle. Unfortunately, there's a holding. So take away that great offensive play.
Yeah, Bosquez had about a 6-yard run there, but that's going to be coming back. They're going to move it back to the 38-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 20. Clock rolling. We're halfway through the third quarter. Rowe down by 2 scores now. this season opener, Weslaco and the Warriors. Completed pass to left side and a terrific hammering hit by the linebacker Noriega.
And also coming in, well, yeah, Noriega. You know, after today's game, Mark Jimenez, an all-district first-team performer. He's all over the place.
That was Ruben Sines who made the catch. And Noriega came in there, lowered the boom on him. Brought him down for
Cesc Sanchez also causing all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, brought him down
nose guard position.
For -3 yards, so it's 2nd and 23 as Ortiz is chased out of the pocket, wants to throw it, now going to keep it. So nobody was open downfield. Noriega bounces him out of bounds. It's a gain, or actually a loss of a yard. So they've got a timeout on the field at the moment. The ball's at the 34-yard line, and Nikki Rowe facing a 3rd and 24. So with 5:11 to play here in the third quarter, it's the Panthers 14 and the Warriors nothing. We'll take a break. We'll continue with more Football Night in McAllen after this.
Get your child off to the best start possible on their path toward a world-class education. Enroll them in pre-kindergarten at McAllen ISD. Tuition is affordable, and you may even qualify for free. Spaces are limited, so call now, 956-618-6031.
Back here on Football Night in McAllen, and Mario, I know we've got something big coming up in September 29th. We've got a big event coming up here at the stadium.
That's correct, Mark. It's the 5th annual Let's Move McAllen Kids Marathon Kickoff. And in the past, we usually get anywhere between 3,500 to 4,500 participants that come out here and just have a great time. September the 29th.
Kinder through 8th grade kids, and we'll have more detail on that later as we see the quick pass on 3rd and short goes to Ruben Salinas, unable to break a tackle, picks up about 3 yards, but they'll bring out the punting unit.
And a dominant performance by the Weslaco Panther defense continues.
Yeah, 4th and 21 now. And you always, at these the kids marathons, you always have special guest appearances, don't you?
That's right, and this year we have none other than an Olympian, Germán Medrazo.
And here's the punt. This is the just the 3rd punt of the game for Nikki Rowe. Picked up by the Warriors in a short return up to about the 27-yard line. That was a return by Denna. So Weslaco will set up shop at their own 27-yard line.
And here's the time of the game, Mark, that the Warrior defense is going to have a stop. The way the Warrior offense is playing, they cannot afford to go down by 3 touchdowns.
Ball's actually at the 28. Handoff to Knob, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. He'll be taken down for a loss. Another big play by Perales, the defensive lineman, just a junior, but having a terrific night here for this Rowe defense. Held him to no gain. So 2nd down and 10. We got 4 receivers to the right side. They're going to throw right, kind of a flanker screen there as a hit at the 30, breaks a tackle and turns his way up to the 39-yard line. Terrific hard running by the tight end, Isaac Villarreal.
And Isaac Villarreal, on his own effort, after he was hit, refused to go down and got an additional 5 yards and makes it a 1st and 10.
For a Panther first down.
Oh, Panther first down. They'll fake it to Knob, and Cavazos will keep it. Is tripped up as he crosses the 40 and brought down at the 42. Tackle made by the linebacker Ruiz.
It was
Gain of only 3.
thing that number 59, Villarreal, tripped them up and made it easy for Ethan Reese because Cavazos was getting ready to get some big yards on that play.
Yeah, Cavazos had some big runs in the first half. He's also got a good arm, too. Has 2 touchdown passes in this game. Here's another flanker screen to Denna. And Denna forced out of bounds up at about the 46. I think on that play was the linebacker, the middle linebacker, Alonso.
It looks like the kids are kind of calm out there in the stands, Mark. They're not as rowdy as they were earlier.
It's a little bit humid.
That's why the Warriors need to score. Get everybody excited.
I think that humidity just takes a little longer to affect the teenagers. Us older folks feel it a lot sooner. 2:45 to go in the third. And now we've got some movement.
What a difference, Mark, between a 3rd and 3. You can do anything. You can run it, throw. But a 3rd and 8, more than likely, they might pass.
Yeah, Panthers have completed 8 of 14 passes for 63 yards in this game. And they have 2 touchdown passes. Ball moved back 5 yards. That's the 12th penalty for 85 yards in this game on Weslaco. So on 3rd and 8, Cavazos wants to throw. Nobody there. Now he's going to throw it the opposite side. It's caught, first down in road territory. That'll move the chains as it's caught by a wide open Diego Martinez.
That's a very good play by Cavazos.
Yeah, it looked like a broken play, but he was able to keep it alive.
And he just took his time, but I think there's another penalty, Mark. But give credit to Cavazos on that play, Mark. He made something happen. I like the way he kept his cool. It looks like the penalty is against the Warriors.
Dead ball, personal foul, 22, green. Dead ball, personal foul, 1. Those will offset. First down.
Once again, it's 2 penalties against the teams against each other for unsportsmanlike conduct. So first down for the Panthers.
They picked up 19 yards, so yeah, first down at the Rowe 40. Here's a sweep to the right side. He's cutting through his blockers down to about the 36-yard line. That was Roy Trevino. And Trevino shaken up just a bit as we have an officials timeout. And ball spotted at the 36, 4-yard pickup, bring up second down and 6. Yeah, some other events coming up in McAllen ISD. We mentioned the Kids Marathon on September 29th. On September 24th, that's a Monday, we have the annual McAllen ISD College Night. That'll be from 5:30 to 8. On Monday the 24th at McAllen Convention Center, more than 100 educational institutions, business and industry representatives will be on hand. Also, school district health staff will be there for the Vaccinate Before You Graduate campaign.
I love that.
And call your child's school counselor for more information. So a lot of high school kids that go to that, and they can see all kinds of universities from all over the country. Also the military representatives from the armed forces are there as well. Some even specialty schools like the culinary school and things like that. If that interests you, you can find it there at that college night on September 24th. Clock is stopped with 2:05 to play here in the third quarter, and Weslaco on top 14-0. So Weslaco's first touchdown back in the first quarter on their opening drive. Devin Denna caught a 7-yard pass from Jacob Cavazos. And then here in the second half, this third quarter, they scored again with a 25-yard pass from Cavazos to Jaden Cavazos. Both extra points good, and they lead it by 14 as we take a look at the new look District 36A. As we mentioned, the 3 McAllen schools still in there, the Mustangs, the Warriors, and the Bulldogs. Then La Jolla, Juarez Lincoln, and La Jolla higher back. La Jolla Palmview now
shifted into Class 5A. And then the Mission Eagles are back, and then two newcomers to the district, the PSJA Bears and the PSJA North Raiders. I think you're familiar with those Bears, aren't you, Mario?
I am. Graduate back in 77.
Yep, and Cavazos will hit Knob on the wide open at the 30, now cuts in at the 20, still open at the 10, and in for the touchdown. The third touchdown pass of the evening for Cavazos to the third different receiver, and this is Knob who goes in from 36 yards, and the Panthers lead it 20-0.
And that's a perfect call against the blitz, Mark. Kind of like a delayed screen pass, and Knob did the rest. Good vision. And now it's 20-0, and the Warriors are really in trouble.
So they're lined up for the extra point. Minute 49 to go in the third. Here's Martinez's kick is up and good. He's 3 for 3, and with less than 2 minutes to go before the end of the third quarter, it's the Panthers 21 and the Warriors nothing. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more Football Night in McAllen right after this. Welcome back. It's Weslaco 21, the Warriors nothing. Interesting statistic here for you, Mario. Weslaco in the first half had 114 total yards. In this third quarter, that's not quite over yet. They've had 115 total yards. So their offense has really come alive here in this second half of play. There's 2 touchdowns here in the third quarter, and they lead it 21-0.
Pretty good adjustments by the offensive side of the Panthers. But after a while, Mark, when your offense is struggling, it makes it tough for the defense. And then you had that turnover. Actually, 2 turnovers by the Warriors that have turned into 14 points.
And Martinez kicks it.
The story of the game.
Bounces at the 10, picked up by Ramirez. He's going to try to get outside of the 20, and then it's going to be wrapped up there at the 20-yard line by Axel Camarera of Weslaco. So that Weslaco scoring drive started at their own 28-yard line, went 72 yards in 7 plays. The capper, a 36-yard pass from Cavazos to Knob. Cavazos' third touchdown pass of the evening.
And Mark, in one of our keys to the game, we talked about the returning starters. How are they going to play? And we talked about Weslaco having 14 starters back, 8 on defense. So the 8 of the 11 starters are back, and it shows. It shows that their leadership is out there, and they're pitching a shutout.
We'll see what the Warriors can do here. A little over a quarter to play, as they're going to hit a short pass and a short gain for Lopez. Lopez's third catch of the evening.
And something very noticeable on the Panther defense, Mark, is that it's a team defense. They have good linebackers. The linemen in front are tough, and their secondary, they're all over the place. And that middle linebacker, number 13, is something else.
Noriega, yeah. Incomplete, intended for Signs. That'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
Constant pressure, lots of speed, and then you throw in a lot of wrinkles thrown in by ex-Rowe Warrior coach Ernie Alonso. It's working pretty good.
You see Ortiz in the gun. Daniel Alejandro, the center snap. Ortiz flushed out. Gonna throw wide open, caught the 31-yard line. Big hit there by the Panthers, and a great job of holding on to the football. Ruben Signs showing that senior leadership there and pride to hold on to that football and get those chains moved.
He did a good job, Mark, absolutely. That was a hard hit. here's the arm once again on the move by Ortiz, and he puts it right there. That's a potential that Jonas Ortiz brings to this game.
They converted on third down as well. So with 45 seconds left in the quarter, they're going to flip this, trying to sweep to the left side. And well defended by Weslaco, tackled by Roy Trevino.
And although on that play, Mark, on the run, Raul Camanera does not get credit for the tackle, but because he did a good job of forcing the runner to go further out, he should get credit or an assist.
Angel Rodriguez on the carry, by the way, picked up 2. Last play of the third quarter. Rowe may have moved. I don't see a flag as Ortiz has to throw this away. And that'll stop the clock with just over 2 seconds to play in the third quarter, and it'll bring up third down.
And that play went nowhere, Mark, because immediately there was pressure on Ortiz, and that even made it harder for him because he's actually going backwards. There's no way he could have made an accurate throw.
Tierra's in the band, still excited. The Warriors facing 3rd and 8.
So Mark, what's the rule on football games on Thursdays as far as the media is concerned?
Well, yeah, on Thursday nights, UIL allows you to show the game live, so that's why we're able to bring it live tonight, as Ortiz is going to be sacked, trying to turn around to the right side, and Weslaco had that read like a book. Raul Camarena with the
Blitz,
sack.
Blitz.
And we had heard that Weslaco likes to blitz.
Camarena, and then Noriega was right there, right behind him. Not a chance.
By the way, the third quarter has ended, and our score is 21-0. We'll go ahead and keep it here as we reach the end of 3. We take a look at some of the fans in the stands.
There you go. Little excited. She was sitting down.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if I know
think
anybody.
They're doing one of the either the fan cam or the smile cam
there
right
you
now.
Go. Hey, there you go.
Oh yeah, see, they're into it.
Good job. We wanted to head to the kiss cam. There's some awesome champs. There you go. She was dancing until they forget it.
Okay.
So 4th and 25, Mark.
All right, so Rowe's in there to punt it, and Weslaco puts on a good rush. Had to hurry that one a little bit, and it's going to be killed at the 49-yard line. It'll be excellent field position in road territory for the Weslaco Panthers. 11:52 to play in the game. Four punts tonight for Nikki Rowe. So Panthers with a commanding 21-0 lead.
And with an offense that has gotten a lot of confidence here in the second half.
Yeah, their offense came to life there in that third quarter.
Especially after Cavazos has completed some passes. What kind of stats do you have on him?
On him, 10 for 16 for 118 yards and 3 touchdowns. An excellent night he's had. A lot of yards on the ground, too, for him as Cavazos rolls out right. And is being chased, going to have to throw this one away. It'll be second down. That was a smart move, though.
Play, avoiding.
And as we take a look at the Nikki Rowe schedule for the rest of this season, their next game will be on the road against the Mercedes Tigers. They beat the Tigers here in McAllen last year, and now they go to Mercedes. And then September 14th, they've got the Edinburgh North Cougars. Then they'll be off for a week before the district opener against the Mackay Bulldogs on September 28th. Then they've got the La Jolla Juarez Lincoln Huskies, the Raiders, the Bears, Eagles, Coyotes, and Mustangs round out the district slate. So that could be a good one there at the end of the year. Memorial and Rowe could be to decide the district title.
So 13 penalties now on Weslaco. That'll be one thing that Coach Salinas will want to address during this coming week.
And that's something you can work on and practice and correct. And that'll make that offense more potent.
A short run there by Jaden Cavazos. He's up to about the pickup of only 2 yards, up to the 48-yard line. So Weslaco content maybe to keep this ball on the ground, which was their forte coming in. Low snap. Cavazos wants to throw, and this is caught. Did he catch it in bounds? He did. Got at least 1 foot down. A good catch there by Dena, who has 1 touchdown catch in this game. Is close to a first down to bring up 3rd down and short at the Rowe 41.
And Jacob Cavazos, you can see him with gaining more confidence, Mark. That's what a couple of touchdowns throwing does for you. He really looks a lot different than he did in the first quarter. I mean, he's just walking around with a swagger now. He's doing great.
And let me correct myself, that was 3rd down, so now it's 4th down and 2, and they're going to go for it. Here's Cavazos, sweep left, picks up the first down at the 30, cuts inside, and is upended at the 21-yard line. 20-yard gain on 4th and 2. So that keeps the drive going.
Call, Mark, nothing fancy, just saying we got a good quarterback. He can run, and we can get those 2 yards. He got a lot more than 2 yards on that run. He's having a great night running the ball. He's tough. Look how he got down and took a hit.
Yeah, picked up some good downfield blocks as well. As Cavazos wants to throw, now flushed out, and has to throw that one away smartly. Just threw it at the feet of Knob because he could see that Knob was going to get blasted, and just threw it incomplete, and they'll try to get something on 2nd down. It's another smart veteran move there by Cavazos.
He's just a junior, Mark, and he's doing a good job of managing the game. No turnovers, taking what he can get, and pretty much right now he can throw or run. It's a lot of pressure on the defense. The offensive line has done a good job to protect him.
You hand this off to Knob, and Knob hit in the backfield and falls forward for actually a loss of 1. So this will bring up 2nd down 11, or make that 3rd down 11. So Knob will check out of the game on this play. Rowe makes some substitutions as well. Angel Almanza, defensive lineman, comes in, as does another defensive lineman. As Cavazos on 3rd down, there's a flag.
Dead ball.
It's usually on
False
the offense.
start, number 2 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
Yeah, usually when they stop it like that usually means it's a penalty on the offense. So the clock is stopped at 9:34 to go in the 4th quarter. So they'll move it back 5, and it'll be 3rd down and 16. So 2 receivers left, 2 right, 1 man in the backfield is Knob back in there. Knob will go into the pattern as they throw that direction. It's caught by Dena. Dukes a couple of tacklers, and it is upended at the 15. I'll probably give him credit to the 14-yard line. That'll be short of the 1st down. But they might just go for it here with the 3-touchdown lead.
They're going to go for it, Mark. Unless Coach Salinas wants to practice a field goal that he might need later on in the year. But the way the Weslaco Panther offense has operated here in the 2nd half, the best choice for Salinas is probably going to go for it, and he is.
And 4th down and 3. It's Cavazos at the 10, is hit and fights his way into the end zone for the touchdown. 14-yard run on 4th down by the quarterback Cavazos, who is factored into all 4 Weslaco touchdowns tonight. He has 3 TD passes and then ran that one in himself. And the Panthers now lead it 27-0.
And if we're picking the player of the game, Mark, it would be so easy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 7-play, 49-yard drives are lined up for the extra point now. You see that replay again. And here's the extra point try by Martinez is good. He's 4 for 4 in this game, and the Panthers lead it now 28-0 with 8:46 to play in the 4th quarter. We'll take a break, be back in a moment. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
I always tell my students I'm a product of McAllen ISD. I always tell them if I made it from being in certain areas and certain schools and I'm successful, they're able to have that success or even reach and do more. So I'm very proud to be born and raised and be a product of McAllen ISD.
Panthers, it's been all Panthers tonight. They're up 28-0 over the Nikki Rowe Warriors. And with 8:46 left, Mario, barring some kind of miracle, I think the Warriors are kind of playing to build some momentum for next week now.
Mark. That's what you got to do. See if you can get something going. But the keys to the game played out today, Mark. How were the starters, returning starters, were going to play in the Weslaco? They had more returning lettermen coming back, and they really have played a good game. The players for Weslaco that you expected to play well are playing well, and the new kids on the block for the Warriors are not performing at the level that they need to perform. And then the 2 turnovers that turned into points were big factors in the 28-0 lead for the Panthers.
There's George Martinez's kick and a bounce at the 10, fielded at about the 4, run up across the 15. Now the 20 has some room at the 30. And Noe Ramirez wrapped up and brought down at the 35-yard line. The kicker Martinez helping in there on the tackle, but an excellent return for the senior. So we take a look at District 36A once more. They're at the 3 McAllen schools this year, 2 La Jolla schools, Palmview now in Class 5A, so they're not in this district anymore. And then Mission is back in, and then 2 newcomers, the PSJA Bears and the PSJA North Raiders. PSJA Bears and especially Mac High, that's a rivalry, goes back a long way, doesn't it?
Many years ago. Being from PSJA, Mark, I didn't want anything to do with McAllen.
So
and then I ended up marrying someone from the
McAllen
Bulldogs.
Yes.
And then I ended up working in McAllen ISD for 38 years.
Well, you finally saw the light.
I saw the light.
1st and 10, pass was intended for Signs, incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10, the 36. Ortiz on 2nd down. Wants to run across the 40, and now it looks like he has the 1st down as he crosses the 45. And should be close enough for a 1st down. So we take a look at District 31 6A, and this is new also. The 2 Weslaco schools, the Panthers and Wildcats, moving into this district with 4 Edinburgh schools. Probably, I guess, Vela would probably be the strongest one of the 4 Edinburgh schools, and then Donna North.
The Valley Sports Writers ranked them number 1 in the Valley.
So a 7-team district there. They'll have 6 district games. And here we go, 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line for the Warriors. They hand this off. Bosquez hit in the backfield and brought down. A terrific penetration and tackle by Jathan Gonzalez for the Weslaco.
I was going to say I'm surprised that Noriega did not get the tackle there, Mark, but then I look on the field and he's not playing. No wonder.
So 2nd down and 12 for the Warriors. Still have all 3 of their timeouts. 7.5 minutes to play.
Man goes in motion, and they'll flip it to him as he tries to turn the corner on the left side. Is hit at midfield and bounced out. Tackle in the play by Matthew Calderon. And Ethan Ruiz, who's a starting linebacker, playing a little bit on the offense there.
And Mark, even when the Warriors get some yards, it's difficult to get yards against this Weslaco defense. Some plays look like they're going to go for more yards, and then all of a sudden the speed, the team defense, and the discipline of staying in their zones.
Rowe just 4 for 11 on third down. Here on 3rd and 5, they're going to find Salinas, who catches it, jukes a defender, crosses the 41st down to the 35 in Panther territory, a 15-yard gain.
Great job by Ruben Salinas, a junior. He's had a couple of good catches today. Cesc Sanchez on the tackle. I think that guy is also going to be an all-district performer, Mark.
Yeah, the Warriors have some definitely some talented receivers. They normally line up 4 in every play. Ortiz is flushed out of the pocket, is wrapped up, has to throw it away. And don't see a flag. It looks like he just got out of that tackle box. And
he probably will not get a penalty on that, Mark, although the officials are checking, because they wrapped him up. So when he threw, he wasn't able to throw maybe to the receiver. So yeah,
the officials, now there's the flag. The officials had to just talk it over.
Intentional grounding, quarterback, spot foul, loss of down.
And if we take a look at the replay, Mark, maybe you can see it on the replay, because it looks like Jonas was wrapped. So when you're wrapped and you're trying to throw, you're not going to throw the ball where you want to throw it.
It's going to be a loss of 7.
So look at the replay, Mark. What do you think on this one? So see, they wrapped him right there, so he tried to throw. So it's a judgment call.
We saw the tail end of it. It's a long pass downfield intended for Salinas, incomplete. A couple of defenders down there, including the defensive back, Gabriel Gonzalez. So Salinas will trot back to the huddle. And this will bring up a 3rd down and 17.
And there's been many times, Mark, I've heard your voice when the Warriors are on offense, 3rd and long, 3rd and 19, 3rd and 23. It's been tough all night long.
They're 5 for 12 on 3rd down. Ortiz to throw. Good protection. Hits the short man. He's going to go down right there. Tackle made by Camarena on number 17, Jorge Peña.
And Coach Tarantola trying to get at least 8 to 9 yards. And it'll be 4th and 13.
Ortiz up to 165 yards passing now. 4th and 13. The Warriors will go for it. Down 4 touchdowns. They're going to throw this on the run. It's caught! And a 1st down. Great catch there for Salinas.
I think that's his 2nd catch that has been. I mean, how many catches does he have? Do you have that?
I don't have the individual stats, but yes, Salinas has made a couple of really nice catches in this game. As you see, this was going right to that sideline, and Salinas just had to get there.
And that's a very important catch, Mark, because it allows the Warriors an opportunity to get a drive going, get a little confidence going into the next game.
And trying for the flanker screen on the left side is complete, but this isn't going to gain very much. And also keeps the clock moving, which is now at 5:19 and counting.
And there's no doubt the game plan by the Panther defensive coordinator Ernie Alonso and Coach Salinas is to put pressure on Jonas Ortiz, and he's been under constant pressure, Mark. And it's coming from all over, from the middle, from the left side, the right side.
Under 5 minutes to play, 2nd down, 12. Rowe trying to get on the board here. So Ortiz back to throw. Here's the blitz. Going to throw it over the middle. And it is nearly picked off. It's incomplete. It was intended for 27, Lorenzo Lopez, and nearly picked off by Gonzalez.
And once again, pressure on Ortiz up the middle. kind of forced him to hurry up and kind of throw the ball. You take a look, he had to throw the pass before he really was even set. It was a penalty. Penalty on Weslaco. That's going to be a break for the Warrior offense. Half the distance to the goal gives them an automatic. No, it's not an automatic first down, is it, Mark? Or is it out?
It would be to the 19. Yeah, in automatic first down.
The chain crew wasn't moving, so I thought I was doing something wrong.
And here's Ortiz going to keep this one. So he's forced out of bounds at about the 15, picks up about 4 on the play.
And that's how tough that defense for the Panthers is, Mark. You have to remember Jonas Ortiz is a speedster. He's a member of the track team. And even with his speed, he's not able to go around some of the defensive backs for the Panthers.
Going to give him credit for a 6-yard gain. So Ortiz wants to throw now. Throwing for the end zone. It is tipped and incomplete. Nearly picked off as it looked like he was trying to.
I think it's going to be a penalty on the defense, offsides.
Oh.
But Mark, once again, Ortiz under a lot of pressure. And when that happens.
Offside.
Oh, it's holding.
On the defense.
Offside. Okay.
No penalties, offset. Replay
Both
down.
Penalties.
First down.
Oh, offsetting penalty, so they'll replay the down. That's a kind of a break for Rowe because of the incompletion. It was almost picked off, as you saw there, by Camarena.
Anytime you're rushing the quarterback, Mark, I don't care if it's in the pros or college, usually good things don't happen.
So should still be first down as they hand off to Bosquez. And Bosquez up to across the 10, or excuse me, second down, and now third down as he got across the 10. See where they spot him, as it could be close to a first down. And it is going to be a first down. It's going to be first and goal.
And you know, Mark, we talked about it. Right now, it's almost like you're already playing your next game. Trying to get something positive going. That should be a touchdown.
And that's Bosquez in for the Warrior touchdown. You saw he had a lot of second effort there to get in there for that score. And the Warriors on the board with 4:09 to play in the game.
And Bosquez deserves that touchdown, Mark. All night long, he's been running as tough as he can. And when I knew he had one defender right here to beat, I knew right here, Mark, there was no way they were going to bring him down. He's excited, Mark, even though he's down 28-0.
Looked like Jerome Bettis on that one. You know, remember the bus for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Just ferocious runner.
Oh, yes. He's a big guy. And I actually met him one time. He is as big as it goes. I can't believe he wasn't a defensive lineman, nose guard or something. He's a big guy.
So here's the extra point try by Velasquez. Signs as the holder. Kick is up and away, and it is good. And with 4:09 to play here in the game, Rowe has 7. Weslaco still in front with 28 points, but Warriors on the board for the first time here tonight. So we'll take a quick break. Be back with more in just a moment. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
So I teach the newcomers that come from different countries that need to learn English, and they're in my class. So I believe that's probably the biggest gift that McAllen ISD has given to me. The opportunity to pay it forward, because I'm also somebody that came from Mexico and started high school in the United States. So that opportunity to give back what I received when I got here as a 16-year-old, I think that's probably the biggest gift that McAllen ISD has given me.
And welcome back. That scoring drive for the Nikki Rowe Warriors, thing of beauty, 64 yards and 12 plays. And let's see how long it took off the clock. It was a 4-minute and 37-second drive. And with 4:09 to play in the game, Weslaco still in front, however, 28-7.
And the Panthers are setting up for an onside kick.
Dana's back to receive the kick. And it's an onside kick, and Warriors have it. A line drive kick, and the Warriors recover it. Perfect execution. It's Jose Alonso who comes up with it. We'll take a look at that on the replay. This is you kind of expected the Warriors would go onside kick. They had nothing to lose here with 4 minutes to play. And here it is.
Jose Alonso. He's all over the place, Mark. He's played a good job as a middle linebacker. Lots of tackles.
Okay, so they got the offense back in business, and Ortiz going to throw long on first down. Looks like he overthrew his man, incomplete to bring up second down.
Salinas was open.
So 2nd and 10 from the Weslaco 46. .403 to go. Warriors still have all 3 of their timeouts. Now they're going to let him snap it. Ramirez goes in motion. They'll flip to Noe Ramirez. Is hit as he falls forward to about the 43-yard line. A gain of 3 on the play.
Noe Ramirez on the inside handoff. And most of the night, the running plays haven't worked, Mark. And it's a team balance. I mean, you got to have both working. The running game will open up the passing game. The passing game opens up the running game. And that's something the Warriors are going to have to work on next week when they play the Mercedes Tigers.
Play action, Ortiz to throw it on 3rd down, trying to hit the flag route.
Yep.
And a flag comes in as it falls incomplete, intended for Christian Ramos. But there is a flag down. This could be a first down.
The opportunity for the receiver to go for the ball wasn't there because the defender was holding him.
That's interference. Number 8, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
How many penalties is that already on Weslaco?
That's 16 penalties, 120 yards.
Lots
Most
of
they've had in many years, I'm sure.
And it also kept some drives alive, if you will recall.
Yeah, 15-yard penalty. And that'll move it up to the Panther 31-yard line. So Ortiz going to hand this off to Bosquez. Bosquez hit at the line of scrimmage, and he might have gotten a yard.
Jesse Ramos on the tackle.
Warriors' rushing game has not been their strongest point tonight. They're only 22 yards rushing in this game with just under 3 minutes to play.
And that's part of the problem.
8 of those yards, over a third of them, came on the touchdown run by Bosquez. Ortiz, roll out right. Caught by Salinas. Salinas breaks a tackle and stretches for the 16-yard line. Has a first down.
Ruben Salinas having an excellent night as a receiver. Look at this throw, Mark, on the rollout. He's got a great arm.
Yeah, and a good catch by Salinas. The pass was a little behind him, and a bullet was still able to adjust and catch that. 2.5 to play. Ortiz, good protection. Throwing for the end zone. Man is wide open, and it's caught. Is he in bounds? No! And the official saying that he juggled it a little bit as well. David Savage, almost a terrific catch there in the end zone. That would have been Rowe's second touchdown.
He was open, Mark.
Yeah, Savage wide open on this play. Hard to tell if his feet were in bounds, and also a little bit hard to tell if he actually held on to it or if the part of the ball touched the ground. Was the official right there on the spot on the call. 2nd down and 10. Ortiz roll out again. He's going to hit Salinas again on the left side of the pattern. And it's caught at the 10-yard line for a 6-yard gain. That'll bring up 3rd down.
All night long, Mark, the defense for Weslaco, I mean, they are on the ball on every play. And their defensive techniques and tackling, they do a very good job.
Timeout with 2:05 to play here in the 4th quarter. As we take a look at that replay once again. Now, when does he have possession? You can see a knee down. Knee might be on the white, though. It looks like the knee was on the white. And not sure if he ever quite had firm possession until after he was out of bounds. I think that's what the call was.
We wouldn't have had, what do they call that word, indisputable evidence, or what is it?
Oh, yeah. If you don't have indisputable evidence to overturn it. But they don't, of course, they don't have that rule in high school. But we're on a break right now. 28-7 is our score. Weslaco in front. 2:05 to play. Football night at McAllen. We'll continue after this.
McAllen ISD has offered opportunities for us to grow professionally, in the sense of allowing us to participate in workshops in which we go ahead and learn material that we bring back.
On the far side of the field, goes up and appears to make the catch, but they're saying out of bounds, and that's Savage again. This time on the right side. It may have come down on that football, which kind of knocked the wind out of him a little bit.
Mark,
was not able to hang on after all.
From up here, those last 2 plays, because we have the advantage of being way up here, those look like touchdowns.
Take a look at this replay. This is coming out of the timeout. It's just a spot pass. I'm going to throw to a particular spot, and the player gets there. Boy, that would have been an awesome catch. But, yeah, you can see he wasn't quite able to hang on to it. That time his feet clearly in bounds. But Savage, only a sophomore. This kid has amazing potential.
He does.
So we've got the injury timeout right now.
Hey, Mark, what are you going to be doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow night we've got another game. We'll be back here again. It'll be the Mackay Bulldogs season opener, taking on Brownsville Lopez Lobos.
Will the Mackay Bulldogs be the first McAllen ISD team to win on this DQ fan field?
Oh, yes. Yeah, Lopez versus Mackay. 7:30 kickoff. And, of course, our pregame show will begin about 7:10. So you catch that, myself and Jake Berry. By the way, Jake Berry, you have the postgame show right after this game, so you want to stick around for that, as Bosquez is knocked down. Now, they had the... well, it must have been a penalty on Weslaco. Sorry, I missed that, but a penalty that gave the Warriors a first down as the Warriors called their second timeout. So it's actually just 2nd and goal right now, as they had the ball at the 9-yard line after that 1-yard run by Bosquez.
And if the Warriors can punch it in, Mark, 28-14 doesn't sound as bad. The coaches can build on it. Say, hey, we didn't have a good 3 quarters, but at the end we fought, and this is our potential.
Yeah, clock stopped at 1:42 to go in the game. 2nd down and goal from the 9-yard line for the Warriors, who are trailing 28-7 in this game. So here we go. 2nd down and goal. Ortiz in the gun as Bosquez behind him. Man goes in motion to the right side. Ortiz rolling out right, being chased, going to throw into the end zone, into a crowd. It's tipped and incomplete. Looked like it was intended for Ramos. Weslaco had it well covered and bring up 3rd down.
Even though that was
Yeah.
not completed, Mark, that was a good pass because Jonas put it in a position where it would not be intercepted.
Yeah, defending on that play, got a little piece of it, I think, Adam Echeverria for Weslaco. So we're third down, minute 33 to go. Ortiz being chased on the blitz is wrapped up. He's going to get sacked by a pair of defenders. Camarena was in there along with Ramos. And that'll bring up fourth down.
And almost every time Coach Alonso, defensive coordinator for the Panthers, brings in extra rushers, it has worked. And even on the times that they did not get to Jonas Ortiz, they rushed him.
We'll have Jake Berry hosting our sideline postgame show right after the game. As on fourth down, they throw to the end zone. It's intercepted. Intercepted 2 yards deep in the end zone, and running this back out is Jaden Knobb, who is finally brought down at the 34-yard line, a 36-yard return. And it's his second turnover tonight on the Rowe Warriors and the second interception by these Panthers.
Adrian Salinas saved a touchdown there. A wide open field. Adrian Salinas showing his speed.
Yeah, all the way out to the 34-yard line. There's 49 seconds left. So the Panthers can just run a couple of plays. Rowe does have one timeout, but they probably won't use it. So Weslaco leads it by 3 touchdowns. And here's a look at that fourth down play.
Check out Salinas. Where is he? Where is he, Mark? Adrian Salinas. There he comes.
He's a defensive back also, so knows how to make the tackle. And they're going to take a knee. They'll just need to take one more, and this game will be in the books. And the Weslaco Panthers will improve to 1-0 on the season. Nikki Rowe will start the year at 0-1. Warriors will go on the road next week to take on the Mercedes Tigers in another non-district clash. They'll open up district play in late September against the Mackay Bulldogs. That'll be in week 6 of the season. And there he snapped it one more time, and that will be the game. So our final score will be Weslaco 28 and Nikki Rowe 7.
We have a final.
And there we go. The first game is here in the books. Of course, tomorrow we've got Mackay against the Brownsville Lopez Lobos. And we'll have that game for you as the teams shake hands here. Good sportsmanship exhibited here by the both teams here tonight. A hard-fought game, but the Panthers earned the victory. They had 132 yards on the ground, 142 through the air. Their quarterback Cavazos had the 142 passing yards and 3 touchdowns tonight to Denna, Jaden Cavazos, and then Knobb caught the other one. Then Cavazos ran it in from 14 yards out for the 4th touchdown of the game. 12 first downs for Weslaco. For Rowe, they had 14 first downs, 200 yards passing for Ortiz tonight. And the Rowe rushing game, only 13 yards on the ground, although they did have an 8-yard touchdown run by Lalo Bosquez on their 1 touchdown scoring drive that went 12 plays and 64 yards. For the Rowe scoring drive in the 4th quarter. But there's our final score, the Panthers 28 and the Nikki Rowe Warriors 7. We've got the post-game show, the sideline show with Jake Berry coming up in just a moment. And let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more of our post-game in just a moment. This is Football Night in McAllen.
I graduated from Nikki Rowe High School in 2001, and I started working as a paraprofessional at Milam, and then I became a professional at Garza Elementary, and then at Hendricks. So I've loved my experience as a student in McAllen ISD, and then now teaching. That's the best thing that could ever happen to me because it's very rewarding.
Okay, welcome back to Football Night at McAllen here at DQ Fan Field. at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. Our final score was the Panthers of Weslaco 28 and the Nikki Rowe Warriors 7. A season opener for both teams, a non-district game. And of course, next week it'll be the Rowe Warriors taking on the Mercedes Tigers. We'll be on tomorrow night with our next broadcast, the McAllen Bulldogs against the Brownsville Lopez Lobos. That'll be the season opener for both of those teams. The Bulldogs last year getting into the playoffs. The Lobos also were a playoff team a year ago, so that'll be two good teams going up against each other. Of course, the Bulldogs have a really stout defense. On offense, some new faces there, so we'll see how the Bulldogs do. Lopez, meanwhile, has about 4 players back on the offense and 4 on the defense. So they'll be a good balanced team as well. But that's all coming up tomorrow night. Of course, we'll have the pregame show starting at about 7:10 because it's a 7:30 kickoff. But right now, let's wrap this game up. Let's go down to Jake Berry down on the field for our sideline show.
Post-game show. Not the type of game Rowe wanted to start out with, but they played a very tough Weslaco team, losing 28-7. I've got Coach Robert Flores here. Coach, all in all, you put up some brilliant plays in the first half, some amazing catches, but Weslaco's defense and their offense were clicking today. You guys put some plays together in the second half. You had a drive of 12 plays for 64 yards. Vasquez punched that in. But it wasn't your guys' night tonight. What can you take from the game?
Well, I mean, we knew coming in that Weslaco was going to be a tough team. They got a great squad, and they had 2 scrimmages under their belt. Where we had 1, but we did some good things like you said, but we still got to work on certain things like making plays early. It seemed like we shot ourselves in the foot a couple of times. We were open on some plays. We dropped some passes, and but we're going to fix that. I mean, we got to also condition. It seemed like down the stretch we got a little tired, and when you have that extra game, to get back in shape, it showed a little bit for us. But our kids fought. I mean, like you said, the second half they came back. They didn't give up, and I'm proud of that. And we're going to build on that. But we do got to, coaching-wise, go back to the drawing board and look at the film and see what we can do to get better.
In the second half, you look at Ortiz. He put in 21 completions for 200 yards. So it wasn't that you guys had a bad offensive game by any means. What do you guys have to do to get ready for Mercedes now?
Well, we got to get better on both sides all the way around. Defensively, I think we came off special teams was something new to us right off the bat. They got the ball, they had a quick steal of a possession, and our defense, they gave up some running plays. And in this league in football, you got to stop the run to win. And then we had a little hard time. We did a good job. We had in spurts, but we got to do a better job coming out the gate. I think we're going to work on that and just again finishing. Get it in there and be able to finish a ball game like we were doing, but we sputtered at the end. So we got to be able to finish. So we're going to work on those things, getting in shape, keep getting stronger, and then, of course, getting better on both sides.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck against Mercedes.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
In this game tonight, Rowe put up some sensational numbers, some picks, some costly picks, some turnovers, hindered some of their drives. But if you look, they're going to wind up playing Mercedes next week, followed by Edinburgh North, and then they'll be back home as the visiting team against McAllen. Come back tomorrow as we start our pregame show at 7 o'clock, roughly about 7 o'clock. It'll feature myself, Mark May, and then you'll see Mark with Mario Reina as McAllen will take on Brownsville Lopez. For everybody at MITV and McAllen ISD, my name is Jake Berry. We'll see you tomorrow.